1 point between them. 1 game to go. And for Hearts, this is the final hurdle of what has been an incredible season for them. The Hearts players came over to the corner away to our right-hand side, where the band of 800 Hearts fans, massively outnumbered, are housed. Hearts, remember, unbeaten in their 3 meetings with Celtic so far this season. There was a win here in December, a win and a draw at Tynecastle. This title race, which will be talked about for years to come. That VAR decision in the 99th minute at Motherwell will be talked about for years to come. And we are underway. Without that late penalty, Celtic would have needed to win this game by 3 goals. Now, today, any win will do. The permutations are straightforward. If Celtic win, they are champions. If Hearts win, they are champions. If it's a draw, Hearts are champions. And the first heavy collision has left Pierre Landry Kabore down on his knees. And the Hearts striker from Burkina Faso is slow to get back up to his feet. But he is upstanding again. Celtic playing from left to right as we look down. Austin Trusty, who was the heart of that VAR controversy in midweek, plays it down the right wing to Yang, early into the penalty area. First Celtic chance, but sliding back there, Stuart Finlay. And did the ball go out for a corner? It's been kept in play and cleared away by Harry Mill. Anywhere will do. Long into the Celtic half. Hearts in their maroon shirt, playing from right to left as we look down. Liam Scales in possession on the halfway line for Celtic, gives it down the left looking for Kieran Tierney. He gets to the byline, sends in a low tame cross straight at Stuart Finlay, who's able to control and clear away, but not very successfully, and it's picked up by Callum McGregor in the midfield. And Celtic inside their opponent's final third as Tierney's right-footed low ball into the penalty area is good. Picks out Maeda, gives it back out to the left wing to Tierney once again, tries to twist and turn but can't produce a crossing moment. Hearts fail to clear the ball away again. Cheers to the Celtic fans who realise the strain that the opposition are under already, as there's the roar as Celtic get the first corner of the day. Pat Neville.
Well, we just knew it was going to start like this, didn't we? Celtic were going to put as much pressure on as possible. The noise you heard before the start of the game, they've got to use this as much as they possibly can. And yes, right away, Celtic closing down on every single player in maroon.
Corner to Celtic, left-hand side as they come forward. It's an in-swinger, and it's headed by Trusty off target. Up and over the top, goal kick to Hearts. First early collisions in this epic encounter. The last time a team started to the final day in second and went on to lift the title was 21 years ago, when Rangers leapfrogged Celtic to win. Today, Celtic are hoping they can come from behind against a Hearts team who've been top of the table for 250 days this season, and yet they don't yet know if they'll be top of the table in the final standings by the time the dust settles here.
Yeah, and that's the torture of it. They've never absolutely been able to relax at any point, and right now they are not relaxed at all. Having said that, the initial onslaught we expect from Celtic, it's Habs have calmed it down a little bit. They're slowing every throw-in down as much as they can. Remember, everybody should remember, Hearts only need a draw. And the word only is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sense.
Maeda to Yang, strong challenge in the midfield by Kabore, wins it back for Hearts. Referee Don Robertson, who's at the fulcrum of everything. What must he have felt getting out of bed this morning, the referee? Because it feels no matter what happens today, a lot of people are going to be unhappy with Don Robertson come later on. That's just the way it is. Shankland gives the ball infield to Cameron Devlin. Boos around Celtic Park as Hearts have possession in their opponent's territory. As Kizilidis tries to come in off the right wing, he'll roll it safely back to Stuart Finlay. And now to Harry Mill on the left-hand side, who claimed the assist from McAtee's goal against Celtic here in December. Kabore will bring it towards the corner flag down the left-hand side, and challenged by Alistair Johnson, the Canadian. The ball goes out of play for a throw into Hearts. 10 yards or so for the corner flag they attack. Celtic nil, Hearts nil in the big decider.
Do you know what? This is a weird thing here. Hearts need to stay calm. That's all very well trying to say that just now. And I played here before when you're one of the inverted commas smaller teams. When this sort of noise is going on, it's almost impossible.
Throw in deep into the penalty area. There's a tumble in there. There's an appeal for a penalty. Referee immediately waves those appeals away, and the ball is cleared.
Do you think the referee's going to give a dodgy penalty today? It's one of those ones. The difficulty is the referees and the officials, they're going to have some tough decisions. There's a certainty. There's nothing surer today. So as you say, you're absolutely spot on. Tough one for the officials. Let's hope it's the football in the end that we're talking about rather than decisions.
You just feel any penalty given today will be perceived by one side or the other as being extremely dodgy, no matter how clear-cut it is. Referee John Beaton and his family have been under police surveillance after the events at Falkirk on Wednesday. A man has been charged by police with publicly releasing the referee's personal details. That's all in the background to this one, and it's all increasing the pressure on the referee today as well as the teams. Celtic have possession of the halfway line. Trusty looks up, tries to spray it over towards Kieran Tierney, has come forward to the left-hand side. It'll be controlled out there by Terekti, the Tunisian. Back to the halfway line again and back into the fair-haired Liam Scales. Celtic seeing more of the ball in these very early stages. 5 minutes play. Yang on the right wing for Celtic, tries to come in field. Benny Beningame trying to get right on top of him. Here is Nygren. Nygren, who scored a brilliant goal at Motherwell on Wednesday. Superb strike to the top corner, showing the quality of champions, which Celtic will hope to exude today. You know, last time Hearts were Scottish champions, Harold Macmillan was Prime Minister, JFK President of the USA. The Beatles had never entered a recording studio. That's how long ago it is. This is defensive position for Harry Milne under pressure from Yang, and the ball goes out for a throw into Celtic. And every little decision like that is greeted with an enormous roar of the crowd. 0-0.
Exactly, and I think the officials got that one wrong. Hopefully it's not a major one, but just look, technically Hearts have lined up almost as a 4-4-2, which is very, very open. I didn't expect that from Derek McInnes at the start of the game. They might grow into that, but certainly they're leaving Shankman and Kabori up for him.
Tierney, clever ball, low into the box. It's going to result in another corner to Celtic. Ball put out by Steinwender, the Austrian. That goes out for another corner. The last one was an in-swinger into the 6-yard box. Viliami Sirisalo, the Finnish goalkeeper who took over mid-season from Kasper Schmeichel. Celtic's fortunes have upturned since then. Wearing bright yellow, Celtic take their time over the corner. There's howls of derision, the belief that Cameron Devlin may not be the full 10 yards back. Fiery, volatile atmosphere inside this stadium. Here comes the delivery. High, curling too high, sails over everyone, and out for a Hearts goal kick. 0-0 on 5 live.
Massive relief already for Hearts. They've managed to survive 7.5 minutes. I think Derek McInnes would want them to get to about 25 minutes in and get 0-0 at that point in time. Then he can maybe put more of his ideas into the game. But it's surviving, it would seem, at this point in time. One intriguing thing is Kieran Tierney, massive play for Celtic, left back, hammered forward there early on. Now that's important in itself, but also it takes Kizaridis, the man he's marking, further back the field. And for me, Kizaridis is probably the danger man for Hearts today. He's a very, very skillful player. Man of the match the other night against Falkirk, and he'll want to get the ball in the final third.
Celtic 0, Hearts 0 in the big decider. Celtic have massive motivation, not just to spoil Hearts' day in their dream, but to hit a very important milestone of their own, to move to 56 Scottish titles, to go one more than Rangers, to lay the claim as being the greatest club there has been in the Scottish top flight. And no matter where you look, there is history around every corner as Hearts come forward now, and they've got to throw in. On the bench today, 2 brothers, but 2 brothers on opposing sides. James Forrest for Celtic, Alan Forrest for Hearts. I can only imagine what's going on in their families. Throw in met at the front post by Engels, doesn't clear it out very far. Yang lunges in but can't get a firm touch of the ball. Good swivel by Harry Milne, but just as he tries to get into a crossing position, Callum McGregor comes over, leans into him, puts him off his stride, and that goes out for a goal kick to Celtic.
It's a wee bit disappointing for Hearts there. They got themselves in good position. Milne was second favourite to win that ball. He got it in the left wing, it got past two players and then panicked. He lashed at it, and there was two players in the box that he could have aimed it for. That was a wee opportunity, but he's been out for quite some time, Milne. I suspect he might only last about half a game today, but he'll give it everything.
Trusty under pressure from Kabore, takes no chances, heads the ball out of play, throw into Hearts down the left hand side. Celtic 0, Hearts 0. A win of any kind wins the league for Celtic. For Hearts today, any draw will do. Harry Milne takes his time over collecting possession, waits for his teammates to get into position in the middle.
Takes his time, he's been kind. It took me an eternity to go over and get that ball there. That's the slowest run I've ever seen in my life.
0-0 would win the title for Hearts. Milne takes the throw-in. Header, one at the front post. Negron tries to clear it well outside the box. Back in by Cameron Devlin. Devlin gets a touch here, out towards Harry Milne again on the left-hand side, and then a rather rough challenge comes in from Benjamin Negron, and that's going to be a free kick to Hearts. Now this is a promising angle to whip in a free kick. It's not a shooting position, it's wide out on the left wing, but a really dangerous position to try and create something for those in the middle.
Very naive for Negron there, very naive indeed. I mean, he's going nowhere there. There's two players on him, and he just goes straight through the back of him. Very, very simple free kick, and as you say, a very dangerous position. Gives Hearts a chance to get the ball in there to the likes of Shankland.
Celtic have everyone back defending it. 0-0 in front of 60,000 here. Milne is the left-footed option here, but he's got to leave it, and it's a right-footed cross towards the back post, sent in by Chizaridis, so that goes out via deflection for a corner to Hearts. Corner to Hearts on the right-hand side. 0-0.
It's one of those strange ones. If you are Hearts and you lose a goal, you think, oh, this is awful. If Celtic lose a goal, they're fine, they'll get back, they'll chase back for it. But what Hearts would get to get something out of these corners they're getting just now.
10 men for Celtic inside their 6-yard box. That's how deep they're defending this. It's an in-swinger. The goalkeeper jumps in, well held by Sidi Salo. Catches it high above his head. Goalkeeper with short sleeves, holding it close to those dark-coloured gloves of his as he bowls it out underarm to Austin Trusty. And then an attempted pass forward by Yang Hun-jun, the Korean, is cut out. And the ball goes out of play for a Celtic throw, and that's taken by Trusty. Back to the goalkeeper once again. Celtic have won each of their last 7 league games. A momentum that has grown and strengthened and has given them belief. Hearts, who started the season 150-1. It would be probably football's greatest fairy tale since Leicester winning the Premier League if Hearts could win this today. Trusty plays it forward, disappointing pass from a Celtic point of view, all the way through to Shovlov in the Hearts goal away to our right-hand side.
Well, the reason why you heard moaning and groaning in the background there is that move by Kieran Tierney was mentioned earlier on. He hammered, he's coming from left full-back. Chizaridis is not staying with him. The ball was on there. He was through and goal had the ball been played. It wasn't played, but that is not the last thing. I promise you that's going to happen in this game.
Yang back to Alistair Johnson, who's missed a lot of this season with injury, but he's been back at the side in recent weeks for the run-in. Trusty on the edge of his own penalty area. Scored against Hearts the last time these sides met at Hearts in January. Johnson again now brings it up to the halfway line. Right full-back position for Celtic. Back into the feet of Austin Trusty once again. Yang, first time ball is clever in front of Johnson. Hearts are going to be careful here, and on the edge of his own penalty area, Steinwender stretched. He's hurt himself in the process here, but he's managed to clear the ball away. He's down inside the box. The referee holds up play. It's not a head injury. Celtic fans are going crazy. They felt play should have been allowed to continue. Now he is holding his head. When he first went down, he was holding his hip. It's going to be that sort of day.
I don't think he's got a head injury. I think he's holding his head because of the real pain that he's in his hip, sort of buttock area. You just wonder. I mean, he's gone down there. It's a strange place to go down. He's not faking that. He is definitely hurt there. However, it's a big call from the referee. It's not a head injury. But as a referee, it's his decision. If he feels it might be quite serious, he can do that. I don't think Celtic fans will necessarily agree with him in that moment, will they? Will they?
Celtic 0, Hearts 0, 5 live for the BBC. We haven't played quarter of an hour yet. There's yet to be a dangerous shot in anger in this game, which will determine who wins the Scottish Premiership this season. Coming up at 3 o'clock from Wembley, the FA Cup final, full commentary here on 5 Live. What a day of live football we have for you. And still, the medical team from Hearts are working on the Austrian, Michael Steinwender, who is still down inside the penalty area away to our right-hand side.
Yeah, it's a big one for Hearts because they have lost a lot of players, particularly in that back line over the last month or two. Falkirk being the big one over the last couple of weeks. He got a really bad one against Motherwell, and he won't be back for quite some time. But they do not need any more defenders. They've got Kent on the bench they could bring on, and Derek McInnes has done a great job this season when he's had to make difficult changes and unusual players playing on unusual positions. He's managed to do it. And watching Steinwender come off here, he's not faking it. He's struggling a bit. He's really struggling.
Play resumes with possession being given back to the Hearts goalkeeper, which of course Celtic fans are not happy about. Having received treatment, Steinwender has got to remain off the field now and wait to be invited back on. Hearts temporarily down to 10.
Just the way he's running there, by the way, Conor, I think it is a knee in there that he's got. He's got a knee in the back of his leg, and it's one of those ones where if it's a twist or a strain, you'd be more worried about it, so he should be okay. Play
back underway. Kabore wins a flick-on header. Can't pick out a teammate, though. Negrin nudges it down for Callum McGregor, who tries to clear up to the halfway line. Yang gets an important touch, trying to set up Maeda, but it bounces too close to Stephen Kingsley. Kingsley is able to clear away. Right-footed up over the halfway line, met by Kieran Tierney. And then another lofted clearance by Steinwender, who's back on the pitch but not running comfortably. Kabore challenges in the air with Trusty, and this time it's going to be a free kick to Celtic. Trusty, who was at the heart of that controversy on Wednesday, going down to the penalty area, claiming he'd been struck by an elbow. All the forensic discussion, was it a handball, was it an elbow? Trusty at the heart of that is here Stuart Finlay barges into Benjamin Negrin. To be fair to Negrin, he doesn't make much of that, and he sees it as part and parcel of the combat here, and he just runs back into position and doesn't make a song and dance of being pushed to the ground.
Just slightly worrying about that injury that we were talking about. If you're a centre back, you want to be 100% if you're playing against Dyson Maeda. He's not had much to do yet, Maeda, but he will never ever stop running, and he is lightning quick, and he makes intelligent runs as well, and Hearts are playing a high line. Everything is set up now for Maeda to get a little bit of a chance now and again.
Referee brings the whistle to his mouth. He was about to blow for a Hearts free kick, but they still have possession, so he says play on. Jordi Altena, one of 3 changes for Derek McInnes from midweek. Over to the right wing now, where Kizaridis twists and turns, has support outside, eventually plays it back into the centre circle once again. Stuart Finlay has it, left hand side for Hearts, tries to ping one down the left wing, putting pressure on Alistair Johnson, who Celtic fans think has been fouled by Altena there. The referee says play on, but then he does blow the whistle because the flag goes up on the far side and Hearts were offside. Still 0-0.
Again, Hearts will be quite pleased with the way it's gone so far. As you say, no real shots on target from Celtic. They are playing that high line, which not a lot of teams come to Celtic Park and do. They're usually pushed much further back. The downside of that for them is Maeda loves it. Maeda wants, that's his dream scenario, and he doesn't get it very often at Celtic Park. And where we're sitting just now, there's a big load of grass for him to run into, and as I mentioned before, Tierney on the left hand side is doing it as well.
Johnson looking for Maeda, sliding in was Steinwender. That's a test of his injury, and he winces as he picks himself up off the ground. He is not running comfortably, the Austrian defender, and Hearts may have a problem there. They may have to think about a change. He's trying to run it off, but he looked really uncomfortable getting up off the ground after winning the slide tackle there. Flag again goes up on the far side, and
he wants to come
coming
off.
Back from an offside position was Kizaridis.
Steinwender can't continue, I don't think. He's really struggling, and each time, I mean, Maeda's not stupid. Maeda's spending his entire time standing beside him, as if to say, that's the guy I want to run against. And it's a big call now for Derek McInnes to make. If he leaves it too late, they may lose a goal.
He's got 3 defenders on the bench: Frankie Kent, Jamie McCart, Christian Borchkovic.
Yeah, the first 2 can be centre-backs easily and walk in there and do the job. That was the reason why I had Steinbender, because they thought he was the right man for the job.
He just has to turn position there, adjust his stance, and you can see visibly from our distance away the wince expression on the face of the defender. Could Celtic take advantage of this while he's still on the field? Almost 20 minutes played. Celtic 0, Hearts 0. 5 Live for the BBC. This is Johnson. Right-footed ball, loads of backspin on that. Looking for Yang down the right-hand side. Brilliant first touch from Yang to control of the penalty area. Sliding in though, Harry Milne wins it back, and the flag goes up. Yang had been offside. One of those belated flags that doesn't go up until the ball is cleared away.
But it's not complicated what Celtic have to do, is it? That's just a dink over the top. It's not. You don't have to do anything intricate. There's a whole load of space in there you need to dink it into. Yang is quick on this right-hand side. We all know Maeda's got fantastic pace and will always run. And as I say, in the far side team is doing the same thing. It's a bold move from Derek McInnes, and it's not the move I expected him to make. That doesn't make it wrong. There's been many times that Derek McInnes this season has done the unexpected, and it's worked.
Coming up later on at 3 o'clock, Chelsea against Manchester City, the FA Cup at Wembley. This is Kabore into the penalty area for Hearts. Tries to get a shot in on target. Good defending by Trusty. Took all of the sting out of that. And Johnson should be able to clear away from the right full-back position. Lashes it up towards Maeda. But it skips away from the Japanese international, and Hearts regain possession. Pass played by Milne down the left-hand side. Kabore, who's putting in a lot of hard yards in these early stages, chases after it. Ball goes out of play. Throw-in decision is given to Hearts.
No chance for a long throw. They've had about 3 or 4 already. This will be, I would guess, about the 5th one. Chance to put it in there. We know Shankman's good. Kabore's, he's a handful as well. If you can put it in there, and that's one of the great things of having Milne on there. He will deliver it into that 6-yard line if he needs to.
Stuart Findlay has gone forward. Steinbender with this injury we're talking about, he's gone forward. Ball is thrown in. Shankland's leaning backwards, does get his forehead to it, but can't propel it with any sort of pace goal bound. And Celtic have already got the ball back in play. 0-0 here on 5 Live.
Game's absolutely flown by. 21 minutes, and getting to that area where Hearts are thinking, okay, maybe we can get our play in. And there's not been a lot hard in midfield, is there? There's not many passes. You're not seeing a great deal of McGregor. You're not seeing a lot of Devlin there. Both of them lovely controllers of the game. Neither have been able to control this game so far.
Hearts, who would be the fairy tale story. Celtic looking to do it for the establishment, for the old guard. Kabore with a shot that spins away off target. But you know, the thing about league titles, different to cups, you can't fluke a league title. You know, if you win it, a 10-month-long season, you are the best team.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that. And by the way, Celtic fans would hate you calling them the establishment. They would hate that.
In this, they very much are the Goliath to the David. 40 years. It's been a team from Glasgow that has been top dog in Scottish football. And Hearts, who've travelled here from Edinburgh today, are trying to change the course of history here. 0-0 for the moment. At the moment, as things stand, Hearts would be Scottish Premiership champions.
Conor, that's all very well, but during the game the other night, the league position changed 8 times. 8 times in one game it changed the position.
This is Shankland inside the centre circle, rolling the ball back to Findlay. 10 yards inside his own half, to the near touchline now to Aldena. He's got the socks down low, sort of Jack Grealish style, low down below his calf muscles. Findlay once again turns and rolls it back to the goalkeeper. Schwoloff away to our right hand side. He blasts it high into the air towards Shankland, beaten in the air by Liam Scales. Findlay, left footed, down the left channel. Kabore sprints across from a central location to put pressure on Johnson. Johnson's header infield was a bit risky there actually, but it fell to our angles and the Belgian was able to control it rapidly. And now Kieran Tierney has possession on the left-hand side, and he lofts one down that left wing. Good ball to Nekti into the penalty area, is he? Just held up by Steinbender. Again, not looking comfortable, but clears it away for a Celtic throw on the left-hand side. 0-0.
Again, it's that very uncomplicated ball, which is lump it over the top and go and chase it. And it's getting Celtic into all sorts of good positions. But so far, Hearts have held is slightly by their fingernails are holding on to that, but they are holding so far.
Hearts fans, the 800 of them, minuscule amongst the 60,000 Celtic fans. They're trying to make their voices heard. Incredible atmospheres at Tynecastle all season. So difficult to replicate that here, though. As a heavy challenge goes in. Altena is down in the D. I think it was Johnson was the player he collided with. And the referee is walking over. He is ushering away the Hearts players who were appealing that was serious violent conduct. He's going to have a word with Johnson, but he's not reaching for his pocket. Not yet anyway. Shankland comes across as the Hearts captain to continue.
I can't believe he's not letting somebody come on and have a look at him. That was a bad hit. It's a head injury. You've got to bring somebody on, referee. Come on.
And they are now invited to come on. So Jordi Altena is down, and treatment coming on for him after a heavy collision on the D of the penalty area that Hearts defend.
I underline, by the way, I don't think that is a deliberate, nasty collision that he's left himself in there to, hurt the opponent. I think that just happened the way it was. He went to turn round and realised he's run into him, and he really took a real crunch in his head. It wasn't head to head. I think it was more shoulder to head, possibly.
The video assistant referee is Kevin Clancy. He's had a look at that, and no further ongoing checks. They're satisfied with the on-field decision that was not worthy of anything other than a speaking to from the referee to Johnson. Chelsea Man City in the FA Cup final. You can listen here on 5 Live. You can watch on BBC One. Or if you want the best of both worlds, you can do both simultaneously via the red button, where they'll have it all synced up perfectly. You can watch the pictures and you can listen to the commentary from John Murray and Ian Dennis live from Wembley. 3 o'clock, the FA Cup final later on today. And by the time that game kicks off, we will know who the Scottish champions are for this 25-26 campaign. But right here, right now, it still all hangs in the balance in this title race that we always knew was coming down to the last day. It's almost come down to the last hour now, because we've almost reached the half-hour mark at Celtic Park at just over 60 minutes of normal time to play. Tierney, neat and tidy on the far side, touches it for Tinekti, and then he's bundled out of play on the far side. And it's going to be a free kick actually to Hearts. Tinekti deemed to have fouled Kizaridis over there. To Celtic, the free kick. Tierney takes it. Kieran Tierney, who of course his former Arsenal teammates, hoping to win the Premier League, and he's hoping to win the Scottish Premiership here in Scotland.
It's just too high a line from Hearts. Something's going to happen. You can't do that against Celtic.
Nygren, 10 yards outside the box, rolls it towards the feet of Maeda, but sent it around the wrong side of him. He wanted it to roll into his path one side, and it drifted past him and straight through to the goalkeeper, Sidicello.
I would say Maeda's probably half a yard offside when it's played through, but it just shows you there are gaps, there are spaces. It's going to be so hard for Hearts to do this, but having said that, they're holding on, and also they're just keeping those players up front. It's still playing like a 4-2-4, and that is really impressive for Hearts. Shankland's done a good job. He's made it difficult for the defenders that are trying to mark him. As I say that, brings down Kieran Tierney, but possibly nobody's working harder on that pitch there than Lawrence Shankland himself, known as a goal scorer, but he's working his socks off too.
This keenly anticipated game has yet to produce a solid goal scoring opportunity for any of the main target men. Lawrence Shankland's had one header, but you wouldn't even call it a half chance. And Maeda, who's got 7 goals in his last 5 games in all competitions, he's still waiting for an opportunity to come his way today. Celtic 0, Hearts 0, the last day of the season. He's shouldering the ball out of play there. Steinwender, who still, you would not say, is running comfortably.
I'll tell you one thing about Connor. Steinwender did the international sign of get me off, rolling his hands. Then he kind of just ignored them, as if to say, well, I know you. I know you better than you know you. You're staying on. And it's worked. Yeah, he's not 100% just now, but he's a lot better than he was before.
McGuinness, who knows this is a day to gamble. Hearts want no regrets. Oh, that's lovely from Johnson down the right-hand side. Put it one side of Mill, run around the other, try to send it across, but Altena was back defending, doubling up back there, almost like 2 left-backs for Hearts. And the cross is cut out, and possession goes all the way back down the other end and back to Sidicello in the Celtic goal. He plays it short to Liam Scales. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, this lunchtime kickoff. Celtic 0, Hearts 0. Tense, nervy, almost unbearable. Scales, midway inside Hearts territory. 28 minutes on the clock now.
You wonder about it because you hear the so-called ultras in the corner for Celtic making a noise and the drums are banging, but if you listen to the rest of it around here, that tension you're talking about is palpable.
The longer it stays 0-0, the more nervy Celtic in particular will get. Of course there'll be nerves for Hearts, but at home Celtic will expect to win this game, and the longer it stays level, the more anxious they will become. Martin O'Neill is down in the technical area, the very retro-looking tracksuit. That is a tracksuit he could have worn in the 1970s. And just a reminder of the different eras that he spans. What a career as a player and as a manager. And hoping to win yet another trophy with Celtic here today. Hoping to win yet another one next weekend in the Scottish Cup final. Celtic on the attack at the moment. Stanvinder wins a header in the edge of the penalty area. Cleared away eventually by Kingsley over there. Doesn't go very far. At the moment, Hearts are making hard work of clearing their lines. Callum McGregor infield towards Engels, but he plays it too far ahead of him. Celtic hold on to possession with Trusty. Now to the right-hand side to Anna. Engels back into Trusty again, bang on the halfway line. Liam Scales will come forward, Shanklin working hard, and that pressure forces a rush pass, which is played to Devlin, and Hearts get it back again. Kabore, 5 yards inside his own half, back into Beningame. They've got to try and hold on to it here, Hearts.
That's actually very well played there up front by Kabore. He's not always noted for being the best at holding the ball up, but 3 players around him, and that's given Hearts a little bit more control, because for 2 or 3 minutes before that, Celtic looked as if they were going to strangle the game there, but Hearts have got the ball again and a little bit more composed.
Beningame playing in the anchor role in the midfield, a player who started in Everton's youth academy. Long clearance there by Stuart Finlay was maybe a bit rushed again. Just putting the ball out of play and giving a throw into Alistair Johnson in that right full-back position for Celtic. Still scoreless and 5 Live.
He found touch though, didn't he? That's what it looked like to me. It looked like rugby. Fine touch, away down in the corner. Get the ball as far away from your goal as possible at this point in time. Maybe try and survive to half-time.
Which was a tactic that Paris Saint-Germain deployed in the recent Champions League semi-final in Munich against Bayern, where they were intentionally putting the ball out for throw-ins. I don't know if that's been the case, but it does seem to have happened quite a few times here from Hearts.
Yeah, well, what they do is try and put it down this left-hand side as much as possible for the likes of Kabore to run onto and Shanklin to run onto, because they can get the long throws from here. On the other side, they want to get the ball to Kizaridis to his feet. Problem is, they've not got it to his feet yet. And every time they have, he's had 2 players on him, he's had to come infield, and that is really stopping Hearts for doing their usual controlling and also creating from that area. Hearts, who have kept 17 clean sheets in the league this season, 1 more will win them the title. But here's an opportunity. Engels coming forward, gives it to Tunekti on the right hand side. Low right-footed shot is straight at the goalkeeper, and it didn't have the power to trouble Shvolov, who just dropped to his knees and gathered it comfortably. I know why he goes for the shot, and I don't blame him for doing it. However, Tierney had flown beyond him. He got to the byline. You've got to see that run. Flick it through, then you've got to the byline. So, once again, that looks to me like a danger area for Celtic. Celtic's most recent 0-0 draw was in March at Rangers. Hearts haven't been involved in a game that finished scoreless since November. You've got to go back to when they were held at Motherwell. 0-0 for the moment here on 5 Live. Both coaches out on the edge of their technical areas. Trusty comes forward for Celtic, gets within 10 yards of the Hearts penalty area. Yang available on the right hand side. He ignores the option of Johnson, who'd gone on the overlap. Comes in field, Yang tried to play a little 1-2 on the edge of the D. It breaks down. Chance for Kizaridis to come on the counter attack, but he's hounded after by a very hard working Tuneke there. Hearts are forced to pump it long again towards Kabore. Then a jump by Altena. Maybe McGuinness knew that so much of his clearances would be long, and that's why Kabore was preferred to Braga on the bench, because it's been aerial battle after aerial battle for Pierre Landry Kabore here. Celtic have possession. Tierney just inside his own half, gives it to Scales, across to Trusty, and now over the halfway line. No technical area can contain Martin O'Neill at the moment. He's almost on the pitch.
Arne Engels, right-hand side of the midfield. Gives it on to Yang. Level with the edge of the penalty area, the Celtic attack. Nygren. Back to Johnson. Misplaced pass. Groans from some Celtic fans. The team holds on to possession, but they're back inside their own half again.
The Celtic should be playing their own game. There's no point in lumping it long aimlessly. They can control the game. They can tire the opposition out by keeping the ball and running it.
Tilly down the left-hand side. Chests it down for himself. Shot might have been on his right boot. Didn't fancy that. Gives it to Nygren. Swarmed by opponents on the edge of the D. And breaking out of defence comes Altena. He's tripped. And that's a yellow card. Yellow card for Alistair Johnson. And a free kick to Hearts for the foul on Altena.
I mean, classically, Johnson got there as quick as he possibly could. But Altena knew it was coming there. He left his legs out, flicked the ball away, left his legs out, got taken out, and Johnson on a yellow card quite early in the game. I mean, he's fortunate he's not got an out-and-out winger against him. He likes of Tierney on the other side. He wouldn't want to be on a yellow card early with someone attacking him. But Johnson accepted it, didn't complain.
You could cut the tension with a knife, and it's just thick air here, where every moment is being analysed, scrutinised. Any little hesitation could be a moment that wins or loses the league. Trusty wins a header towards Maida. Flicked on by Devlin in the midfield. Kabore chests it down, but McGregor is able to nip in. Callum McGregor, who is hoping to win his 11th title. James Forrest on the bench hoping for title number 14 of his career. That's good from Engels, winning the ball in midfield from Devlin, but great recovery. Tracking back there was Kizaridis, who challenged Engels on the edge of the penalty area and forced it to roll back to the goalkeeper.
That's one of the best chances that Celtic have had so far. You're right, Kizaridis, the last person you expected to get in there, got in there. No, it's not pretty from Hearts, is it? It really isn't. I mean, it's a lot of long balls. They're chasing everything. They're closing down. Concentration so far has been exceptional. Problem for them is they've got an hour to go. They have to keep on going for the entirety of that time.
If you're just joining our coverage in 5 Live, 10 minutes to go to half-time in Glasgow. Hearts, as things stand, will be champions because it's 0-0 here. And they're on the attack at the moment. Heavy touch by Altena. Shows too much of the ball to Johnson. Oh, he's done well, Altena, to keep this going. Into the penalty area, trying to weave into a shooting position. No room for the shot. Gives it back to Bing Ingame. 10 yards outside the box. Altena again. Whips one here. And that was speculative. Too high, too wide. They scored some really eye-catching goals in midweek. But that is way off target from Joni Altena, who's never scored from Hearts. And that is a goal kick to Celtic as it remains scoreless here.
Well, Steve's just given me a thing I didn't want to see there at all. Hibernian now losing against Motherwell, and Motherwell are obviously, they've been, in the fourth position for most of this season so far. Hibs could overtake them today, but at the moment it's not looking like it.
Yes, it feels like nothing else matters, doesn't it? The context, the enormity of this game. Rangers 3-1 up in Falkirk in another game that started at 12:30. Hibs trailing Motherwell, as Pat says.
Well, that's European football possibly as well, so for those two teams it's huge.
The top 6 in action today, the bottom 6 in action tomorrow. Final weekend in Scotland. Yang in possession for Celtic. This game decides the league title. Good work by Harry Milne to win it back for Hearts. Stuart Finlay to Milne, up to the halfway line to Shankland, and now Kabore, and a bit of green grass to run into here for Kabore. He's not at this all day, tries a toe poke shot from the edge of the area, and Scales is able to block it, and that was dangerous for Hearts, but they don't get a clean shot in on target.
And every Hearts fan would think they didn't want it to be Kabore, they'd rather it was Shankland who was getting the ball. Shankland played the ball through to Kabore. To be honest, I don't think the shot was on there because it was in front of him. He had to take it to one side.
Celtic trying to come down the left-hand side. Sebastian Tenekte. Oh, he's done well. Gets it to a crossing position, plays it off the shins of the first defender, and that goes out for another corner to Celtic, and a yellow card has been shown there.
I think it was Steinbinder. Just early on in the move there, Maeda got away from him, he slid in. The referee said play on, go on. But I think Steinbinder saying it's his first tackle of the game.
Confirmed it is. Hearts number 15 has been booked. Corner. Any one of these moments could decide not just the game, but the entire season. One goal could win the league for Celtic, but they do have to score today. Here comes the delivery. In-swinger, Trusty was ready to bounce, but Steinwender again was in the right place and able to clear the ball away. As far as Callum McGregor, still midway inside the Hearts half. Gives it to Tenecti on the left-hand side. Hearts are not moving out here. They're holding the defensive line along the edge of their own penalty area. They know this is coming straight back at them. Yang down the right-hand side is well challenged by Harry Mill, one of the 3 changes in the team today. And that goes out for a throw into Celtic, level with the edge of the penalty area that they attack down the right-hand side.
Mill's done a good job against Yang. Yang's a very good player. He's not got a lot of the ball, Yang, so far, because Celtic will favour going down the left-hand side or centrally. However, Mill will tire. I don't think Yang will.
It's a day that could come down to stamina. We know the hunger, the desire is there from both. Who will be able to keep going the longest? At the moment, 0-0 would crown Hearts. For the first time in 66 years. Tierney plays a good through ball down the left wing. Engels up against Steinwender, and he's fouled the defender. Free kick to Hearts inside their own penalty area.
He's been an important player, hasn't he, Steinwender, today?
You can see why McGuinness didn't want to take him off.
Absolutely. He's covering brilliantly there. I mean, he's often playing at right back. He can be right wing back. Today he's right centre back. He's up against Celtic's player in form, Maeda. He's not giving him much at all, but he's covering his teammates as well. He's got a yellow card, but he's still having a dig at the referee, isn't he, Steinwender, saying one tackle, not one tackle, one foul, and he got a yellow card. But it has to be said, it was so late, he probably deserved it.
Celtic 0, Hearts 0. Hearts already on 80 points this season, which is their most since 3 points for a game was introduced in the 90s. It's also the most that any non-Old Firm team has had in that period. They are chasing history. They are looking to break up the duopoly. And at the moment, they're on target to do it. As long as they keep a clean sheet here, Hearts are going to disrupt the Old Firm stranglehold on Scottish top-flight football. Maeda back helping out the midfield. Last touch comes off the Japanese player. That's a Hearts throw in on the far side. Pat Nevin.
One thing I will say about Celtic, they have kept the pace up, and they have to keep the pace up. And I think that's part of Martin O'Neill's strategy. He knows that there's a lot of tired players at Hearts. He knows that 1 or 2 are playing with injuries as well. Look, they're not getting the opportunities. They're not getting the chances they usually get at Celtic Park. But he'll say, be calm, keep the pace high, and eventually the space will open.
Long throw towards the Celtic penalty area. Scales wins the header. Now he's got to sprint to try and stop it going for a corner, but he can't get there. So Hearts have turned a throw in midway into the Celtic half into a corner now, and Stephen Kingsley is walking across slowly to take it.
And Finlay's always a danger as well here in the sort of area. He's top player, will go and attack every single ball he can. I mean, most defences are looking out for Shankland, but watch out for Finlay as well.
So Kingsley raises his right hand as a signal to the teammates in the middle. Look at Shankland. No one marking him at the back post. It's played towards the edge of the area. Kizaridis. It's a long way outside the box though. Takes it down. Rolls the ball to the right hand side to Cameron Devlin. Back to Kingsley, who had taken the corner. Tries to cross with his less favoured right boot. And it comes off a defender, and I think Celtic are appealing that it came back off Kingsley before it left the field of play. However, the officials do not agree with that assessment, and they award the corner kick to Hearts again.
No great argument over that far side there. Assistant referee, absolutely perfectly positioned.
Kingsley to take once more. Bright orange boots. Last one he hit to the edge of the box. This one's an in-swinger. Right on top of the goalkeeper. Header on the back post is in! And it's Lawrence Shankland who scores one of the most important goals of his career. Hearts, who only need a draw today, lead at Celtic Park. That is an enormous moment in the history of Heart of Midlothian, and Celtic are up against it now. Celtic 0, Hearts 1, a header from a corner from Lawrence Shankland.
It is a brilliant ball and delivered right to the back post. Lots and lots of pace. There were 2 or 3 players running in there. Certainly Kingsley was getting in there as well. Shankland's going into the back post. It was just an overload there, and they wanted it. They were desperate to get it. And now, 2 minutes away from half-time, when you're thinking Hearts are just trying to get there into the dressing room at half-time, 0-0, holding on. they've managed to get the goal. I'm sure they'll look at it. They'll look at everything now.
It's been confirmed by the video assistant referee. The goal stands.
It looked okay to me. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and more than that, I didn't see any complaints from any Celtic players in there. But a few complaints from Celtic fans, though. They have not created much, and Hearts have 1-0 up.
What a time to score just ahead of half-time. Celtic Park is rocked. Are Hearts going to do it? Are they going to realise this dream, which for so long people actually thought was impossible, that nobody other than Celtic and Rangers could ever win the top flight in Scottish football? Hearts lead on the day, and now Celtic are going to have to score at least twice.
Absolutely, not give any more goals away as well. We know how dangerous, clearly how dangerous our Hearts are from set pieces, from long throws, etc. And I suspect they will grow in confidence from getting that goal. By the way, they were tiring a little bit there. You could see the shoulders. They were gasping a little bit. That tiredness has disappeared from these Hearts players now.
For 4 decades, the duopoly has held the old firm's firm grip on Scottish football. 4 decades. Are we witnessing history here today? Lawrence Shanklin, the number 9. That is now 7 goals in his last 10 games. To win league titles, you need strikers in form. You need goal scorers. And Shanklin, we said it ahead of kickoff, if there was ever a day to deliver, today was the day.
He's actually been brilliant for Hearts this season. And he's had a couple of injuries over his time, but in his physicality, he's very, very special. But also, he is a natural goal scorer.
3 minutes been added on for stoppages ahead of the break. Celtic are rocked. Wind has been taken out of their sails. Look how slumped the Celtic fans are sitting around us. Hearts suddenly with new adrenaline. Running across the halfway line here is Kizaridis. And then a ball is played back towards Findlay, and then his ball back towards the Greek. Sliding in is Yang for Celtic, and they've got to really roll up their sleeves now. Free kick to Celtic. Yang throwing himself into 50-50 challenges. No time to waste as they take a quick look.
Very typical Celtic. When they lose a goal, they really do go on the front foot. They're trying to do the same again. Get that goal back as quick as possible.
Tonetti on the left wing for Celtic. If they could equalise before half-time, the pendulum would so much swing in their favour. And there's appeals here for a handball in the penalty area. It's going to be a penalty! Penalty to Celtic. Tierney's cross, adjudged to have hit the arm of the defender, and the referee points to the spot. Penalty to Celtic in stoppage time ahead of half-time. Hearts are going to complain. We said it before. There's no such thing as a non-dodgy penalty in this game. Everything is going to be disputed. But with an emphatic point to the spot, Don Robertson said penalty. The video assistant referee is going to check it. So it's one of these. The defender is sliding as the player looks to cross. Is it going to be adjudged to be a natural position? Was he making the shape of his body bigger? Quite frankly, Pat Nevin, does anybody know anymore?
Exactly, and they've got a decision to make here. It's a brave set of officials that turn this one down. If he's given it, if it's hit a hand in any way at all, we shall see.
The penalty stands. Confirmation from the video assistant referee. Listen to this roar. You'd swear Celtic have scored. It's just been confirmed that the penalty stand. Now all sorts of mind games are going on here. Hearts players are standing on the spot. Liam Scales, one of the taller players in the Celtic team, has grabbed the ball and he's sort of claiming the territory here. He's standing over the penalty spot, defending that area. The goalkeeper, Schwalov, has come out to stand really close to the penalty spot too. And is it Arne Engels who is taken the ball in his hands and ready to take on the responsibility. The pressure on this kick is beyond enormous. Celtic, who beat Motherwell on Wednesday with a penalty, now have a chance to so swiftly cancel out Hearts' lead here. The tension is just unbearable inside Celtic Park. Engels has a run-up of about 3 strides. It's going to be a right-footed kick. Here it comes, and it's bumped into the bottom right-hand corner. And Celtic are refusing to let go of their grasp of the title they want. beginning today.
I had just about got the sentence out of my mouth saying, when Celtic lose a goal, the first thing they try and do is go on attack and try and get it back as quickly as possible. Well, that's exactly what they did. Kieran Tierney, always going to be the man he creates something down that left-hand side. He keeps on getting there. He finally got the ball. And you and I have both managed to see a little look at that penalty kick there. And I don't think there's an argument. I think that's a clear penalty kick. The hand was up, and that was the right decision by the officials.
Sliding, not to try and handle it, sliding to try and cut out the cross, but the arm is stretched away from the body, and we all know what that means in modern football. What a game we have in our hands now. 1-1 on 5 Live. The cusp of half-time. Who knows what's left to be played? There was supposed to be 3 minutes, but it's all gone out the window now. Celtic 1, Hearts 1. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. And listen to the sounds now. There's the half-time whistle. This could have been very, very different when Lawrence Shankland in the 43rd minute put Hearts in front. But Celtic have done what champions do. They have found a way back into it, and they head towards the dressing room, and the crowd is full of belief here again. It's 1-1 at half-time, Pat Nevin. And as things stand, the title is still Hearts, but their grip on it is much looser than it felt just a few minutes ago.
Do you know what? The psychology of this is extraordinary for any football people, but particularly football players on there. They absolutely thought that they got there. They'd scored a goal. They were going to last to half-time and be 1 goal up. And not cruising, nowhere near cruising, but they could get themselves together and get more tactics onto play. But Celtic have got back into it, and 10 minutes before it, you thought, Hearts are happy. Okay, 10 minutes later, they're still drawing. But Celtic now, psychologically, have got such a lift from getting that penalty kick and that goal.
Swings in the playground. Hearts shot up, thinking that they were on top, believing like never before that the title is going to be theirs today. But that penalty swings it back around again, and it's the Celtic fans, Steve, who are feeling better about life now. This title is still in the balance. It's not just come down to the last day, it's come down now to the last 45 minutes. 1-1.
And again, the smell of cordite and sulphur just punctures the Glasgow fresh air. A cloud of green descends over the pitch after that penalty. Kizaridis sliding in, handball. Kenny Crawford also watching with us. And I can say this as a complete neutral. I think that's handball.
Yeah, it looked like it was, and there wasn't many complaints from the player either, because Kizaridis, when he went down, he stayed down and he kind of kept his body all tucked in, and he just felt it was a look of guilt, and there weren't too many protests from the players either. Obviously, it's a huge moment in this game for Celtic to get that boost just before half-time when they were under the cosh is unbelievable for Martin O'Neill. Derek McInnes, though, he waited until all his players came off the pitch before he followed them down the tunnel. He's protecting them. He's going to keep their belief right in this game, Steve.
And Pat, just briefly on Lawrence Shankland, I'm sure we'll see Claudio Braga, the Scottish Premiership Player of the Season, at some point in the second half. But they sing about him. He's got the pace, he's got the power. Well, Lawrence Shankland has got the nous. Great positioning, classic Shankland goal.
So you got Lawrence Shankland there. You want 2 Lawrence Shanklands. You want him as the 10 and you want him as the 9. That's why I kind of look at him. There are shades of Harry Kane there, because he's got the power. He'll lay on goals as well. He'll drop off. But also, when you get in front of goal, if you're a Hearts fan, there's one player you want the ball to fall to. And it felt him. He made sure he got himself into the right position. Scored a great goal against Rangers just the other week there, which was very reminiscent of Harry Kane. But he's got in there at the back post. But he just can't breathe in this too. This season has been so extraordinary up until the last minutes of every half. It ain't going to change.
Well, Celtic Park just absolutely went crazy when that ball went into the back of the net. And the Hearts fans, I mean, it was an amazing sight of maroon just popping up to our right-hand side with the flag swirling when Shankland put the ball in the net. It's back in the balance on the final day of the Scottish Premiership. Once we're done here, we'll be taking you to Wembley Stadium, the 3 o'clock Chelsea-Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Always great to have you with us, Micah Richards. Good afternoon.
Hello, Crosby. How you doing, mate?
Hello. Very good. What are you wearing? I have to know. I'm sure you're dressed appropriately.
What I'm wearing, I've got a blue, navy, what do you call this, guys? Navy, a little stripe on the tie. Everyone's saying I'm looking fresh, so I'll take it. A little handkerchief as well.
Well, Ian Dennis, you're the man for the fashion, and Micah Richards always comes prepared, doesn't he?
Yes, he's also got a rucksack on as well.
He looks like he's going for a parachute jump.
me and Robert, we're like twins, Steve. As we're here pitch side amongst all the TV cameras, we've got the more casual look with Paul Robinson.
Yeah, definitely more casual. Mika definitely wins best dressed today.
So Paul Robinson and Ian Dennis there with Micah. Micah, let's talk Man City, because I know you've only got a couple of minutes with us.
Yeah.
It's been really fascinating watching Pep Guardiola over the course of the last couple of weeks. You know, when he did the whole "come on you Irons" thing, and when he was laughing and joking in his press conference, it sort of feels like a geography teacher in the last week of term, when all you do is have a bit of a laugh. He seems to be absolutely loving it.
Yeah, he looks a little bit more relaxed, doesn't he? Especially on the bench. I think the rumours have been, is he staying, is he going? And I think he's sort of just enjoying that moment of only he knows. And the fact that they're in a title race now, maybe obviously it's in Arsenal's hands, but for them to be still fighting for 3 trophies at this time of the year, although they've won the League Cup, it's just amazing. I feel as though there's so much pressure being put on him, and now he can just enjoy.
Micah, 90 seconds of you is always worth doing. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day. I was told you had to go.
Well, you don't ring, you don't text anymore, Crosby. You've absolutely bid me.
You don't even come to Wembley anymore.
I'll see you later.
I think you'll find this is just as big a story. Micah, I was told you have to go, all right? That's all I'm saying. You're a man in demand.
I was. I don't know. I'm not sure now.
Thank you, sir.
See you later.
That's Micah Richards. We're going racing with John Hunt.
Thank you, Steve. The opening race of the day is well underway. It's the Aston Park Stakes. 5 runners come down the home straight with less than half a mile to run, and all eyes really, with all due respect to the other 4 runners, on Kalpana here. She's favourite for the race, and she was a brilliant winner at Ascot of the Champions Filly Mare. She's just looking for a way through from the back of the field. She gets a lovely gap now, and she quickens brightly, and in no time challenges West Wind Blows for the lead, with Arabian Force back in 3rd place, and Liberty Lane, the former Cambridgeshire winner, further back, and so too French Master. And all of a sudden they're toiling in the wake of Kalpana's made that big move to the front. West Wind Blows, though, trying to rally again on the outside. Remember, it's Kalpana's first run of the season. Is lack of fitness going to show? She's determined, though. Kalpana in front, half a length is the advantage, and Kalpana wins, beats West Wind Blows, and they came 10 lengths clear of the other 3. So we knew she was very, very good, and all she's done here is confirm that. Kalpana, one of the best mares in the whole British racing scene, has started her new season brilliantly with a narrow victory in the Aston Park Stakes.
John, thank you very much indeed. Let's go back to Wembley with Ian Dennis and Paul Robinson. And Paul, let's just carry on Pep Guardiola. When I was watching and listening to him, there was part of me that thought, ooh, what do we read into that? But then there was another part of me that thought, are we a bit tired of reading something into everything he says and does?
I think we do that with every manager, though, don't we? We're guilty of trying to read different scripts and narratives into press conferences and post-match interviews. But actually, it's quite refreshing to see Pep like this, actually quite relaxed. Because sometimes, you get a different side to him. Sometimes he's quite guarded, doesn't give you too much. But actually, you got to see the real character and the real person. And at times, there was his true feelings that came out, obviously with the irons for the West Ham thing and everything. And you got to see that, the true person and what was going on inside. And I think he's approaching this like, guess what? I've been to this stadium 24 times. I've done this all before. I know what it's about, and I'm looking forward to this.
And I know, Ian, I have heard people say, is it the most kind of inspiring lineup for an FA Cup final and all that kind of thing? And I get it, but there are loads of great stories. And actually, right at the top of the list has got to be Callum McFarlane at Chelsea. What a day for him! What a year for him!
I know he was saying he's going to have all a range of emotions from him. He used to actually be at the Manchester City Academy for a time in his career, and here he is, an interim manager, bringing Chelsea out in an FA Cup final, and will look to try and follow in the footsteps of Gus Hiddink and Roberto Di Matteo, who've won Chelsea the Cup when they were interim managers as well. So he's already come up against Manchester City in his earlier spell when they snatched a 1-1 draw at the Etihad. And he'll try and inspire these Chelsea players, because I think everybody at Stamford Bridge would accept that their league form has been, below standard. They've just ended that losing sequence in the Premier League. They've got to get into Europe. That'll be a massive incentive for Chelsea to be in the Europa League, because they might struggle to actually get into Europe through qualification through the league table. So it's a huge day for Chelsea.
All right, you two, thank you for the time being. Ian Dennis and Paul Robinson at Wembley Stadium. Correspondent John Murray will be there, of course. We'll bring you full commentary of the FA Cup final at 3 o'clock here at Celtic Park. Celtic won, Hearts won in the Scottish Premiership title decider. Second half commentary to come. Let's check in on the live action in the Women's Super League, which is ongoing. Liverpool-Arsenal at Anfield. Molly Stevens.
Where Arsenal have one hand on that automatic Champions League place. They lead Liverpool by 1-0. Stina Blackstenius with the opener, and it's no more than they deserve. Lucky that it's not more as far as Liverpool are concerned. Their keeper has been outstanding. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 1.
Chelsea hoping that Arsenal do slip up. Doesn't look like it at the moment. They've got their own job to do, though, against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge. Emily Kilner.
It's goalless after half an hour here, where Chelsea will play, of course, all of their home games next season. Their best opportunity, a right-hand cross from Ellie Carpenter that pinged off the post, and then Kerr tried to sneak in a near-post deflection moments later on her final appearance for the club. But as you say, with Arsenal ahead, all Chelsea can do is push for the win and hope. It's 0-0.
Manchester City might be thinking about getting their hands on the trophy, which will happen at the end of the game at West Ham. How's it going on the pitch? Paul Gilmore.
They're enjoying themselves. 30 minutes played. West Ham 0, Manchester City 1 on the day. They lift the trophy. Jade Rose poked home a corner from close range on 13 minutes. Lauren Hemp, though, off injured. Visitors lead 1-0.
Let's go to Sophia Gardens next. The Women's ODI series continuing between England and New Zealand. Henry Moran.
Sort of continuing. Rain has stopped play with England at 77 for 3 after 17 overs. Covers are on. We will start losing overs now. It's another frustrating picture here in South Wales.
All right, you'll be able to listen on 5 Sports Extra if and when they get back underway. Goodness me, Celtic Park this afternoon. It's been absolutely sensational. Celtic won, Hearts won. Hearts 45 minutes away from their first title since 1960. Celtic 1 goal away from snatching it right at the very end of the season. Second half commentary on the way. Let's get the news now on 5 Live.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
And with the 5 Live news, this is James Wickham. The Justice Secretary David Lammy says the authorities will act swiftly if protests in London turn violent. Tens of thousands of people have joined 2 separate marches, a rally organised by the far-right activist Tommy Robinson, and an annual pro-Palestine event. A huge police operation is in place. The charity's called for a wider rollout of the meningitis vaccine. Earlier this week, a 6th form pupil in Oxfordshire, Lewis Waters, died after contracting the disease. 2 other teenagers from Reading are also being treated after testing positive. The UK Health Security Agency says the risk to the wider public is low. The Israeli military and the Palestinian group Hamas have confirmed that the head of the group's armed wing, Izz al-Din al-Haddad, has been killed in an Israeli attack in Gaza City last night. And millions of people across the UK haven't discussed with their families what should happen to their finances after they die. A survey by the Society of Trust and Estate Practitioners found a third of people didn't have a will.
On BBC iPlayer,
I want to win.
They're on a journey into the unknown.
I'm feeling very confident. We only have to win one leg.
I like the attitude, Mark.
A race of more than 12,000 kilometres.
Every little mistake you make could cost you.
The further they go,
this is it. Let's go.
The closer they'll get.
Both of us have grown and we see the true value in each other.
Race across the world, the finale.
There's no reason why we can't win this race.
Next Thursday on BBC iPlayer.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
There's been a goal at Liverpool in the Women's Super League. Molly Stevens.
Arsenal have doubled their lead. A stunner from Marione Caldente. She thumps the ball at the near post into the roof of the net. No chance of saving that one. Liverpool 0, Arsenal 2.
Second half commentary on the way from the sunny east end of Glasgow shortly. Celtic 1, Hearts 1 in this absolutely crucial final game of their Scottish Premiership seasons. By the way, Conor McNamara said it in commentary, it sort of feels like this is it today, but Motherwell leading at Hibs is really important for them, because if it stays like that, they finish 4th, they will get European football next season, although so will Hibs if Celtic beat Dunfermline in the Scottish Cup final. And the other live score, Falkirk 2, Rangers 3 at half time. In the last hour or so, we've heard that Manchester United have reached an agreement with Michael Carrick to become the club's new permanent head coach. Let's speak to senior football correspondent Sammy Mockbell, who broke the story. It has been coming, this one, Sammy, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. We were on the home straight now. I don't think it's the biggest secret in English football. Michael Carrick is on the verge of becoming the club's new permanent head coach. An agreement is in place for an initial 2-year contract with an additional 1-year extension on to the end, provided all things are going well. So at the moment, they're in the process of exchanging contracts. A formal and broad agreement between all parties is in place, and it's just a matter of time now before that deal and appointment is confirmed.
Sammy, thank you very much. Right, we're nearly ready to go for the second half here then at Celtic Park, with Hearts 45 minutes away from this first league title since 1960. Pat Nevin, Conor McNamara, Kenny Crawford, all with us. And Kenny, I mean, those Hearts fans, we've got to say, it's impossible to hear them because of the sound of Celtic Park. But when that ball went in the back of the net, 800 sounded like 8,000.
The stadium fell silent, and also I was keeping my eye on Derek McInnes during that time. He wasn't staying reserved, he wasn't staying calm. He turned round to that Heart support and gestured the celebrations as well, so he was making sure he enjoyed the moment. Such a different challenge for them now, given that Celtic have got that late equaliser at the end of the half. But here come the teams now, Steve.
Well, it's the hot scent of hot pies in the air. We're surrounded by steaming food that's been inhaled by the supporters in front of us. They are ready for this massive second half. Let's tell you about a goal at Chelsea in the Women's Super League. Emily Kilner.
It's Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0, and it had to be Sam Kerr who equals Frank Kirby's club goal-scoring record. A brilliant cross from Lauren James, volleyed in. It's Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0.
Well, Conor said in commentary that this feels like it could be the biggest story since Leicester City won the Premier League. And I tell you what, a former Leicester legend is about to come onto the field for Celtic. 45 minutes to go of the Scottish Premiership season. It's all in the balance, and Pat Nevin is with Conor.
Kelechi Iheanacho coming on as a half-time substitute. Martin O'Neill knows his team need to score. He's taking off the scorer of the penalty of the first half, Arna Engels, to introduce another attacker. Kelechi Iheanacho, is that right? Pat Nevin, you're hesitating.
I thought it was Tonetsky might have come off. I might be wrong there.
No, yeah, in fact, yes, you are correct. Always trust in Pat. It is Sebastian Tonecti who makes way for Iheanacho. That's the one change in personnel over half-time.
But also change the style, because I think Maeda will go on the left wing now. Iheanacho classically will be straight through the middle, and Celtic have got another classic goal scorer on now. That's Maeda and Iheanacho, both on very, very good goal scoring form just now.
Celtic 1, Hearts 1. In the WSL, Liverpool women 0, Arsenal women 3 at Anfield. This, the deciding day. It's come down to the last 45 minutes. The Scottish title at the moment, 1 point between them, and that 1 point in favour of Hearts. But 1 goal for Celtic would tip the balance in favour of Martin O'Neill's team and preserve the status quo. ball kicked out of play right in front of O'Neill there. It's going to be a throw into Celtic, left-hand side. Kieran Tierney takes it, but
a change already.
Make a change within seconds. Within seconds of the restart. I wonder if this has anything to do with having seen that Ian Atcher's come on for Celtic. McGuinness is going to make a change of his own. Johnny Altena will come off, and on will come Frankie Kent, who scored that bullet header against Falkirk on Wednesday, his first goal of the season. So Kent comes running on into this bubbling cauldron of an atmosphere.
Well, that could be a back five. Now you've got, as you say, Celtic have got more attackers up there. Hearts quite often do play with three centre-backs, and we'll see how it goes, but Kent's another centre-back. You've obviously got Kingsley and Finlay on there already, so it could be a back five.
Lawrence Shankland's header put Hearts in front from a corner. 2 minutes remaining of regular time ahead of half-time, but then in stoppages before the break, a penalty awarded, a handball by Kizaridis, and it was struck solidly home by Arne Engels. Big man for the big moment there. I think Hearts, at one stage, with the 1-goal lead, Celtic needing 2 goals, there would be a natural deflation, Pat, to then concede that equaliser. But it's reminding me of when Rory McIlroy in the final day when he won the Masters last year, not this year, but last year for the first time. And famously, his caddy Harry Diamond said to him when it went to a playoff, "You'd have taken this on Monday." I think at any point this season, Hearts would have taken this, to be told, second half, don't concede, and you would be titled winners. They'd have taken that, surely.
45 minutes, one game against Celtic with a chance of a draw. Yeah, and also very capable of scoring themselves either from a break or from a set piece as well. Have to factor that into this game isn't finished yet, and certainly the title isn't finished yet, but I don't think the goal scoring is finished yet either.
No, it feels a deflated moment for Hearts, but they are still the team with the advantage. They are still, as it stands, top of the table.
Oh, it's hard
what's happened here now? Ian Atcher in possession, trying to shield the ball, and then Beningame came in to tackle him. Now this is far side of the pitch from us. Beningame trying to tackle, ends up on the ground. Was there a swiped arm, something like that?
No, I don't think there was any contact. I think that's something else. I always worry when players go down when there's no one near them. So the players the medics are on there very, very quickly. No one's complaining about it, so it may well have been something else. So leaning on his side.
So concern for Benny Bangame for Hearts, and we're being told that the replay suggests that he might have pinged his hamstring there. He was just sprinting, and off the ball he pulls up holding his left hamstring.
I didn't think there was any contact with any player. It looked very, very strange, the angle went down. He's sitting up now. Good news for us all that he's sitting up, but I have to say he seems to be in quite a lot of pain, and if it is the hamstring and it's not just a bit of cramp, he should not carry on, and that's a big letdown.
Medical staff still working on him. 1-1 here, last day of the season. Hearts maybe preparing a substitute here. A reminder, Chelsea against Manchester City. It's not far away now. The FA Cup final coming up in but an hour and a quarter's time. We'll be live from Wembley on 5 Live. You can watch the pictures and listen to the radio commentary simultaneously on the red button. Tomorrow there are 6 Premier League games as Beningame comes back up to his feet. That's the noise in the background.
Well, they're getting annoyed, the Celtic fans, because he's walking the
long way.
They said the short way for him, but he doesn't want to go off, the far side and just go all the way around the back in front of all those Celtic fans.
Would you want to walk around in front of the Celtic fans if you were him in Hearts colours, Pat?
Actually, just with that injury, the least amount of walking you can do, the better. He's pulled a hamstring there. You do not want to be walking.
Well, he's not feigning it because he's being replaced here. And Beningame goes off. And this is another enforced change. And coming on in his place, Blair Spittle, who scored a quite wonderful curling strike against Falkirk on Wednesday. And he's a player who has scored 2 goals against Celtic in his career, both back in his Motherwell days. Beningame hobbling off, slowly, making his way across the pitch, and Spittle now is about to sprint on as his replacement.
Yeah, and not a bad replacement to have him. Beningame, a very, very important player for Hearts, but one of the reasons why Hearts are still in this title race all the way to this point in time is they have good strength and depth, but right at this point in time they are A, stretching every sinew, but B, using every single player left.
Beningame hobbles down the tunnel, play resumes. Celtic 1, Hearts 1 on 5 Live. Maida, who's not seen much of the ball today, gives it back to Austin Trusty. Ball forward towards Iheanacho, who calmly slotted home that key important penalty in midweek to keep things so tight here today. Celtic have possession on the right-hand side of the midfield. Yang plays it back to the centre circle again. Austin Trusty, tall central defender, gives it to Alistair Johnson on the right-hand side. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Johnson. And the ball is played back again to Trusty near the halfway line. Hearts are sitting deep here. There's no high press. They're allowing Celtic have possession in the central third. As long as Hearts don't concede the champions. And it breaks down for Celtic as they try to play Yang into the penalty area. Out comes Schwolov and smothers that and grabs it close to his gloves.
Do you know what was interesting in the first half? We were talking about back four for Hearts. I was surprised by how high a line they were playing, and thinking, well, something will give. Well, in actual fact, it's not going to be like that in the second half, I don't think. With a back five, they'll probably just sit a little bit further back, try and hold on as much as they possibly can and play in the break. It's a very different tactic, but the great thing about Derek McInnes, he has adapted tactics superbly this season, and more often than not, it's worked.
Well, it's simply thrilling, this. It is on a knife edge. I think Hearts would have taken this before the game. Celtic probably would have taken this before the game. 1-1. Iheanacho tries to play a pass into a busy penalty area, but it squirts through all his teammates and goes through to the Hearts keeper once again. And succession of substitutes have gone to warm up for Celtic under instruction from Martin O'Neill.
So one of the things, all the years I've been commentating, have you ever seen as quick a substitution as that after half-time?
No.
That was seconds.
Yeah. And, why wouldn't you just make it at the break? And maybe it was in response to what Celtic had done, bringing on Iheanacho.
I think that's 100% the case. He wasn't wasting time. It was just that.
Now McGregor's given the ball away just outside his own penalty area, and then there's a challenge by Nygren. He was outside the box in Kabore. Free kick to Hearts. Yellow card shown to Benjamin Nygren. If he was going to make that challenge, he had to make it outside the box. And although Kabore fell into the penalty area, the challenge begun outside. Free kick, tight angle, about 12 yards from the byline, left-hand side as Hearts come forward and just outside the penalty area.
It's one of those ones where a right footer zip that in with a bit of curl towards the back post and get everyone charging in. It's exactly what you want to do in this situation, but it needs a good delivery.
This was a couple of World Cups ago. It was Tony Kroos for Germany, slammed in a free kick from this position into the far top corner. Celtic 1, Hearts 1. There've actually been very few attacking free kicks in the game, and remember, Hearts' goal did come from a set piece, and it's played towards that top corner but just too high. Away and out and into the fans behind the goal by Kisaridis.
Yeah, he knew what it was going to do. We all knew what it was going to do. Not quite the quality was needed at that time, but adrenaline, nothing more than that. You cannot help it in games like this with tension like this building.
If you can keep your head while all about you are losing theirs, and you get the feeling between now and the full-time whistle, one or two might lose their heads here. This is too much of a pressure cooker. 1-1. 66 years of hurt for Hearts. History chasing for Celtic, the chance to overtake Rangers and become the team that's won the league more often than anyone else. And it all comes down to the next 35 minutes.
We're just watching Kabore there, chasing and chasing and chasing. You're thinking, really? Do you need to do that? But maybe he knows that he's only got about an hour, and then they're going to bring on Braga, so he'll do that. But you think you need to conserve a wee bit of energy instead of giving away unnecessarily.
Here comes Celtic. Yang, great pace down the right-hand side into the penalty area. Yang, good challenge by Stuart Finlay, and then the follow-up effort deflects out for a corner to Celtic. That was a rapid, direct counter-attack there, and it's produced a corner kick.
Again, not complicated, just down the inside right area. There's the Hearts player down injured.
That's the booze.
He's going to look as if he's going to get some help. The physios aren't quite on the field yet, but then if he gets any help there from the physios, they're going to be down to 10 men from a corner kick, which Celtic will try and make good use of. No, he's not going to get any help at all. He's going to get up. Celtic fans will not believe he was that badly hurt.
The Shankland goal came from a corner at this end of the field in the first half. Now Celtic have a corner from the same spot in the second period. Celtic 1, Hearts 1. 5 Live in BBC Sounds. Here comes the delivery. Swirling into the goalkeeper who stays on his goal line. Good firm header. Well outside the penalty area. Celtic trying to bring it back in again. Scales on the left wing, the tall central defender. 2 opponents around him, and he's done enough to get a corner. That'll do for Celtic. McGregor runs and picks up one of the multi-balls and places the quadrant, and he's taken it quickly. Back to Engels, whose penalty equalised for Celtic in the first half. Back to McGregor. Good cross into the centre. Controlled by Trusty on the far side. Behind. They're appealing for a handball again. Referee says no. The on-field decision is no penalty. Video assistant will look at the background. I think that was hope more than expectation as a shot there, as a shout there.
I actually thought it looked like a knee to me, but again, we've not got monitors here. We're trying to gauge it from there. There certainly wasn't a deliberate handball, nothing like that. But then that's not important these days.
Celtic will be panicking. Equalise with a penalty, how they'd love another one. Celtic who've been awarded more penalties this season than any other team in the Scottish top flight. Trusty has possession on the halfway line. The seconds, if you're a Hearts fan, are ticking by very slowly now. Perhaps if you're a Celtic fan, they're ticking by quickly. Here's Kapore in a sprint. Goalkeeper's decided to come late, and he gets there just about first, but it's not a good clearance, and sliding was Engels, and he just about did enough. He's been hurt in the process. Engels collided with Shankland as he tried to clear away a weak clearance of the keeper. Kizaridis is also down. There's a player from each side on the turf here. Effectively both teams playing with 10 men. The referee is going to hold up play, and he's going to brandish a yellow card. Now who's that to?
I thought it was just Shankland.
He's shown the general direction of about 4 players. That could be anyone.
It could mean anyone. Green and white hoops or in maroon. Kizaridis has gone down there, and the referee's, he's got a lot to do there. To be honest, unless you've got 3 pairs that sets of eyes, you can't see what's going on there because it's all happening all over the place. And it's not clear. We're not getting any notification from above.
We think it's Austin Trusty shown the yellow card. Confirmed. Austin Trusty shown yellow.
So that must have been what he did to Kizaridis off the ball.
So he joins Negron in the referee's notebook and Johnson now. If either of these teams reduced to 10 men, that could be the key factor that could swing the title one way or the other. Kizaridis still not back up to his feet. Celtic fans making all the noise. They still need to score though. If Celtic don't score, Hearts win the league.
It just gets more and more painful as it goes on. At half-time there, we went downstairs for a moment. 3 different Celtic fans said to me, "Are we going to do it?" And I'm thinking, that's just desperation. It really is. I'm like, I don't know. Nobody knows. That is the joy of this.
It is.
It's not obvious here. It's not as if this looks certain the Celtic are going to do it. I mean, it's well possible, but it's also perfectly capable that Hearts, that the way they have defended, are capable of holding on to this.
It's in the lap of the gods. They could play this second half 3 or 4 times. They could have 3 or 4 different outcomes. You know, it's who is going to get the slice of luck on the day, who might produce the moment of brilliance and whisper it, but who might make the mistake or the error.
And also, when the goal is scored, if a goal is scored quite soon, the changes the opposite manager makes. Because there's a lot to happen there as well. Braga's still, he's an ace card that you can bring on if you're Derek McCants.
We're into the 60th minute now. The title is coming down to the last half hour of the season. Celtic on the attack. Ball goes out off the corner flag, but it hit the corner side of the corner flag, so it won't be a throw-in, it'll be a corner kick.
How many times you've watched games like that? It could have bounced the other way and gone for a throw-in, but it bounced one way and went to corner, and you think, I wonder, will that make the difference here?
Toss of a coin, and as it spins and fluctuates in the air, which side it comes down on. The ball here went out for a corner. Tierney plays it in swinger. Goalkeeper grabs. That is very competent and controlled goalkeeping there. And Schwolov just absolutely bought time and just better watch out there.
He's had his 5 seconds.
Well, yes, the referee is timing it down, and he drops the ball. And does he know Iheanacho sprinting behind him? He just about did. Schwolov, and he clears it. Iheanacho, who tried to, that was the old Mark Crossley all those years ago, tried to sneak up on the goalkeeper there. Scales under pressure inside his own penalty area with Kabore behind him. Lunges and puts it out for a corner kick.
Scales
from a corner to Celtic at one end, now it's a corner to Hearts.
Scales has been brilliant, hasn't he? The amount of last-ditch tackles that he's had to make. Now, you could argue that's because he got himself out of position, but he's against 2 very good centre forwards there, and alongside Trusty. they have held strong for the vast majority of the game, other than that one corner kick.
Celtic are preparing to make a change. They won't make it while they're defending the corner kick here. Celtic 1, Hearts 1 on the high wire rope that is the final 30 minutes now of this Scottish Premiership season. We still don't know where the title's going to go. Corner is played in towards the back post. That's where Shankland scored in the first half, but on this occasion Stuart Finlay was the nearest to it and he couldn't get up off the ground, and that will be cleared away. And a goal kick for Celtic away to our right hand side.
There's no surprise really that Yang's coming on. He's not a great effect in this game so far, but if you're looking for a player that has got 1 or 2 titles and 1 or 2 trophies to his name, you won't get a better one than James Forrest coming on to replace him, and a very, very good player too.
James Forrest comes on hoping to become the first player to win 14 Scottish top division titles. He would overtake Rangers' Sandy Archibald, who won 13 back in the day, and if they do win today, this will be a 27th major honour for James Forrest, who, remember, his brother Alan Forrest is on the bench for Hearts. You couldn't make it up.
No.
You really couldn't. Here comes Nygren for Celtic into the penalty area, tried to return the pass. Johnson wasn't expecting that. Maybe Nygren should have taken that on himself. Still 1-1.
And that's so unlike him, because he's, when he's in the box, generally you'll get a shot away and it'll be on target, and quite often it will be a goal as well. But just a slight panic, just a slight edginess about his play, not that comfort and calmness you're used to. And that's what happened when you're less than half an hour away from the title to be decided. Nygren should have had that on target, had a shot himself.
James Forrest on for Yang. So with Nygren and Iheanacho and Maida, they need a goal. Out comes the goalkeeper, City Salo, sliding out of his penalty area. Anywhere will do as he kicks it near the Hearts dugout, and then very relaxed body language of Derek McGuinness as he picked up the ball there and sort of drop kicked it like a rugby player to his player Harry Milne to take the throw in. Celtic of possession. McGregor spots another gap. Oh, he squirts in through it. Great search from McGregor. Rolls it in front of Maida. Celtic looking for one bit of inspiration here. Cross comes in, flashes through everyone in the middle and out on the far side, and out ultimately for a throw.
Brilliant play actually from both sides there. Once again, Kabori very, very close to getting in 1-on-1 with Sinisala, who's very, very speedy off his line. And we've actually noticeable that when Schmeichel was in goal, that wasn't his strength, coming off his line quickly. Twice in a row Sinisala's had to do that and got there just before Kabori, and saved Celtic.
You can only imagine the scenes in Edinburgh, the maroon side of the capital watching on. At the moment, Hearts are going to be champions, but one goal from Celtic would change everything. Celtic 1, Hearts 1, 5 live. FA Cup final to come. Chelsea against Manchester City from Wembley at 3. Hearts in possession. Kizaridis struggled to control there. That should have been more routine. McGregor has won the ball off him. Celtic just in recent minutes seem to have stepped up a gear, Pat Nevin.
They have. I mean, that's what they do at home. They know what's needed. They've been here many, many times before. They've got the fan base behind them, and they can lift the pace. A change will be made now. I think Braga absolutely, definitely coming on now, because Kabori, he's running his race. I thought he would do 60 minutes. He's done 64.
Foul on Iheanacho gave the free kick to Celtic. They opted not to play it into the box. They held on to possession, ultimately back to the goalkeeper. City Salo gives it onto Aaron Trusty. Those seconds continue to sift away. Claudio Braga, Hearts' second highest scorer this season behind Shankland, who scored against Celtic in each of the last 2 meetings of these clubs. Claudio Braga,
Players Player of the Year as well in Scotland.
What impact can he make here? It is a very nice option for Derek McGuinness to be able to bring on at this stage, just when his team need a new breath of life. Good burst by Johnson for Celtic down the right hand side, but he can't deliver across. And Harry Milne is able to clear the ball away all the way to the halfway line. Trusty wins the header. Hearts get it back again though. Shankland trying to control, difficult. Has support in behind from Spittle. Spittle gives away possession though. There's the applause around Celtic Park. The home fans pleased their team have won that back so competently. 25 minutes of normal time to go. It has all come down to this. Iheanacho for Celtic. Gives it to McGregor. Bit of space here for Tierney on the left-hand side. Angles a bending cross into the penalty area. Stephen Kingsley wasn't sure what was behind him there. He couldn't take any chances. There actually probably was time to take it down, but he couldn't risk it, and he heads it out for a Celtic corner.
Not a chance of risking that. Derek McInnes is trying to make a double substitution. It will be a double substitution he's going to make.
Corner played in. Header by Maida is just into the side netting. Similar position to where Shanklin scored his header from a corner in the first half, but Maida's effort goes on the wrong side of the post.
And finally Hearts, they've got players, well, they're exhausted. They are exhausted at the end of the season. It's physical and it's mental as well. And Derek McInnes is going to have to use every single option he's got here. Right. Braga's a good one. That's good news for him. But others as well.
It's at least a double change. It might be a triple change. Triple change for Hearts coming up here. Don't die not knowing. Give it everything. Derek McInnes is going to bring on Claudio Braga, Islam Chesnikov, the Kazakhstan forward, and Alan Forrest. So the younger brother of Celtic's James Forrest comes on. And while we have a break in play, Pat, you could have families in Liverpool, which maybe one is a Liverpool fan, one is an Everton fan, brothers, sisters. Maybe in London you could have members of the same family support Spurs and Chelsea. In Scotland, the bloodlines, the allegiances are different. Yeah. And to have brother against brother in a game of this magnitude is just incredible.
It's extraordinary. You almost wouldn't believe it. As you say, it sounds a wee bit Hollywood, but it tends to happen here now and again, and I just hope there's not a kind of confrontation with the two brothers at some point during here. One of them may well decide what happens to this league title. And again, real good shift being played by every single one of those players from Hearts that have put it in. And Milne, he's another player who I thought had no chance to last more than 45, managed over an hour.
So they've now made all their changes, Hearts, with a quarter of the game remaining. Chesnikov, Braga, Forrest all on. Let's go to Wembley, because this might be a big game, but there's a big one to come at 3. Correspondent John Murray.
Injury boosts for both. For Chelsea, captain Reece James and goalkeeper Rob Sanchez are both fit and start. So they make 2 changes from Liverpool last weekend, but the same system with Santos and Jorgensen subs, as are both Neto and Garnacho on the bench. Shall
Thanks very much to John. No, you can continue if you need more, John.
Okay, yeah, City, they make 5 changes from midweek with the very big news, Rodri is fit and in the team. Of course, Haaland, Doku and O'Reilly are back in. Trafford's in goal. Phil Foden only among the subs for the FA Cup final.
Kick-off, 3 o'clock, full commentary here on 5 Live, John, with Ian Dennis for commentary of that one. Spittle prepares to take a throw in here for Hearts. Arches his back, slings it in as far as he can. Attempted little flick on in there, but there wasn't a firm touch, and it goes back out for another throw in again. Just while we were getting the team news of the cup final, was a great surge into the penalty area by Chesnikov. His first touch of the ball, and that was a real impact. Lashed it in across the face of goal, but there was no one to finish it off. The latest throw-in comes in from Spittle. Here's Chesnikov again in the penalty area. Tries to shuffle the pass, but good defending by Maida. Maida clears up towards Iheanacho. Good first touch. Tries to turn the defender. Steinbender, who was struggling with that injury in the first half, seems to have run it off, and he recovered well there. It's 1-1, Pat, in the biggest game in years in Scotland, and we've only got 20 minutes to go.
And the tension is ridiculous now. That was a great move you mentioned there just while we were away at Wembley for a moment with John Murray. Chesnikov come on, made a little bit of a difference there, got to the byline for the first time in the second half by Hearts. They're not going to go for it now, Hearts, and try and get the winner. We shall see. They've got Braga on just now. He's now playing as a 10. Shanklin's up front on his own. Celtic can't relax in the break for a millisecond. If Celtic lose a goal now, you think that is it. The title's finished.
With Spittle, Braga on the field now. There may be an argument that Hearts are finishing this game with a stronger 11 than they started. Nygren in possession for Celtic. 1 goal from Celtic can win the title. Johnson passes out to the right wing to James Forrest, first time that he's been involved. Cuts in field as he's done so many times over the years. Tries to shoot low, straight into a defender. Then there's a heavy collision. The referee says play on. Chesnikov hit the deck there. It was an awkward fall more than a foul. And then the ball goes out of play for a throw-in, bang on the halfway line, and both coaches are down there and they're both animated. And this is where It's all on the line now. Two coaches who know for different reasons they can become immortal with the outcome of this game, and we still don't know who's going to come out on top.
It's one of those classic ones. I've heard often said, the quality's not always great. But do you know what? There have been periods of this game where the quality's not been great. It's not got to do with quality today. It's about battling, it's about fight, it's about keeping concentrated, defending with your life and your soul, and that's exactly what has to be said. Both sets of players have done. The effort in here is extraordinary.
You said earlier on, what was it, a bit too Hollywood? I mean, this is Hollywood. You can't get more Hollywood than this. Brother against brother, team that hasn't won it for 66 years. No team outside of Glasgow winning it for 4 decades. Celtic with Martin O'Neill coming in red adair, putting out flames all season, maybe winning his 9th trophy as a Celtic manager. I mean, you add it all up, it is Hollywood. Hearts in possession in the midfield.
And you're going to get a great ending. It's classic, you're going to get a great ending today. Because Scottish football this season, that's what it gives you at the end of almost every game.
We are approaching the final furlongs. We're not exactly into the last sprint yet. But let's go to Newbury and join John Hunt.
Connor, the Oaks trial today has just concluded. The victory going to Esna, ridden by Ryan Moore, trained by Brian Mean, beating Sacred Ground. The King and the Queen's favourite, Golden Orbit, only 4th, but Esna may well have booked her ticket for the Oaks at Epsom in 3 weeks' time.
Thanks very much, John. Free kick to Celtic, bang on the centre circle. Double change coming up. Martin O'Neill is ready to introduce as much fresh leg action as he can here. Marcelo Sarachi is getting ready to come on. Callum Osmond as well. Sarachi a defender, Osmond an attacker. Hearts trying to come forward down the right hand side. It all breaks down there as Forrest played the ball too far ahead of him. It's going to be a goal kick to Hearts.
Slightly surprised that Trusty's coming off. I think he's had a very good game so far, but he's coming on now. And it's not a real surprise to see Tierney coming off. Quite often this season they've had to take care of his injuries. He'd have run through it today. So obviously he's mentioned to the bench. He has to come off. Sarachi's not getting that many games, but a very capable player to take his place.
Sarachi has got an incredible CV. The clubs he's played for: River Plate, Leipzig, Galatasaray, Levante, Boca Juniors, now Celtic. That is some bank and wealth of experience. He's slotted in alongside Liam Scales at the heart of Celtic's defence. They need to score, Celtic. They definitely need not to concede.
I think they may be going to a back three, Celtic almost. Maeda standing in the left back position, but he ain't no left back. So Martin O'Neill's pushing it now. Wow. He's going for a back three. He's got to score. He's got to score.
This is Chechnikov battling for possession. First task of the day for Sarachi is to stop him there, and he does. The Uruguayan with the long, straggly, dark hair and the big, bushy, dark beard. As Johnson jumps on the edge of his own penalty, he's brave there. Johnson really needed to be brave, but he won that header against Alan Forrest. And now Iheanacho has turned really well, and he plays the ball forward. And this is an opportunity. Engels for Celtic into the penalty area, can't bring it with him. Brilliant defending on the edge of the box. Hearts hang on to their lead.
Right. I almost can't believe what I'm seeing just now. Hearts have pushed 3 men up front now. They're just playing 3 against 3 up front. Hearts are going for it as well, saying we can do you in the break if they get any chance at all. So instead of sitting back and soaking up the pressure, Derek McInnes has been brave and said, no, we're going to go for it. Slug it out, punch for punch.
Backward header from Scales to the goalkeeper. Do you know what the best form of defence is?
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly it's attack. Fortune favours the brave, and this is brave from Derek McInnes. The inkling, the urgency, the maybe the idea to defend, to hold on to this 1-1 draw, which would be enough to win Hearts the title, but he knows a goal now would crush Celtic spirits with the clock ticking on, and we've got just over a quarter of an hour of normal time to play. One goal can determine where the Scottish title goes. One of these two teams are going to win it. At the moment it's Hearts. Iheanacho has possession, gives it to Sarachi, a few yards outside the penalty area, left hand side, tries to get to a crossing position. Steinbender is able to intercept, and despite the best efforts of the goalkeeper Schwolov, he can't prevent that from going for a corner. Shankland's kicked the ball away. Now it doesn't really matter because of the multi-ball system. There's already a ball on the quadrant. For a moment I thought he was going to get a stupid yellow card there, but it doesn't matter because there was a ball already on the quadrant.
Yeah, he's claiming he was trying to control it. Very good, Lawrence. You've got better control than that, mate.
Engels to take the corner. 5 Live from the BBC. This is exhilarating. It is scary. Corner play towards the back post. Iheanacho stretching backward, heads it straight up into the air. James Forrest with a header down. Then it comes off Kent, and the goalkeeper grabs it, and it's still in play. And Hearts breathe a sigh of relief again.
They had a chance there to play out to Claudio Braga. He's out there. He's 1-1 against Rachi, who'd just come on. He was out of position. The goalkeeper decided. Swallow said, no, we'll hold it for a minute, slow it down for a moment. Braga's furious with him.
Here comes Celtic again. They're throwing it all now. Maida into the penalty area. Left hand side, pulls it back. Shot was going off target from Nygren. Down goes Engels on the edge of the D. He was outside the penalty area. It's a free kick for Celtic. It is a yellow card for Cameron Devlin, who made that last gasp challenge. Free kick in shooting position. Hearts throwing their body on the line. Celtic throwing everything to try and get the goal that could win them the league.
You almost can't breathe at this point in time. I have to say there was a terrible effort. I finished there beforehand. Absolute stinker. You're 10 yards out. You've got a goal gaping. And a total and utter miss hit. Still, Celtic get the free kick, and it is in prime position. You couldn't spot it up any better if you asked. 20 yards out. He's just about to put it down.
Couple of paces outside the penalty area, slightly left of centre.
I think Iheanacho fancied it. Oh, there's plenty there that fancy it today.
Engels and Nygren standing with Iheanacho.
Looks like Engels, doesn't it? Definitely looks like
Engels is the player who places it. So a 5-man wall, a draft excluder, an enormous moment in the game and in the season. We haven't had a free kick in shooting range like this today. 77 minutes on the clock, 1-1. Celtic need 1 goal to win the league. And they've got this free kick. They've erected their own wall in front of the Hearts wall. Engels places the ball again.
I can't believe how quiet it's gone.
You can hear a pin drop amid 60,000 people. 1 brilliant free kick could win Celtic the lead. Engels, who's already scored a penalty. Here he comes. Knuckleball off target. He stabbed at it with his toe. It swerved all over the place. And graciously for Hearts, it swerved off target.
It wasn't far away, and you're correct. It was a knuckleball. He's gone for it. And if it had dipped down just about in time, keeper was getting nowhere near it. But I love everything about this just now. The tension's fantastic. The fact that both managers, they're going for chaos. They're not going for what you would do as a normal tactics. It's a brilliant tactical battle, this. It's also mad.
Celtic, who've done so well to pull their season out of the trash can to get back in this title race. But now, here comes Alan Forrest on the attack for Hearts. It's a shot on target, but it's straight into the chest of the goalkeeper, Sidi Salo.
And he looks so like his brother there, didn't he?
It's the scampering through. The DNA.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good chance there. You've got to do a little bit better than that. Just a pretty easy shot into the keeper's arms.
The thought that a Forrest brother could score and one of them could win the league for Celtic and one of them could win the league for... Here's Iheanacho! Shoots and it goes back off the post! Iheanacho into the penalty area, struck it brilliantly, but it comes back off the frame of the goal. That's one of those moments that'll make Hearts think maybe it's their day. Cross from the left-hand side from Sarachi. Callum McGregor stretching every sinew to get to the ball first. Celtic have possession. They're still struck here by the ball striking the post. The whole stadium shook there. What a shot from Iheanacho. You can't get any closer to winning the league than that. This is Iheanacho again. 15 yards outside the penalty area. Right hand side of Celtic come forward. 1-1 and 5 Live for the BBC. We've got 10 minutes of normal time to play. It's all up for grabs. Sarachi for Celtic into the penalty area. Dave Flake, good shot, touched over the crossbar. Nygren nearly won the league there. What a shot, what a save.
Right, Celtic have dialed it up now. This is what they do at home when they need goals at the end.
Corner's already taken. James Forrest played in low into the box. Turn, shot off target again though. It's going to be no, it's not another corner. It's a goal kick this time. Hearts breathe the biggest sigh of relief.
I've seen this so many times over the year, Connor. I'm sure you have as well. They know how to dial it up. They know how to increase the pace, put the pressure on. Obviously, they've put lots more forwards on the pitch as well. But these Celtic players believe it because they've done this sort of thing before, time and time again at this ground. But can they do it again?
Celtic have shown a lot of resilience this season. This is when they need it more than ever. Looking for title number 56. They have done it before. They've seen it all. They have the T-shirt. And Celtic desperately in need of one goal now that can win them the league for a 5th year in a row. As Braga has possession, he's not done much since coming on. The player of the year sprung for the bench to make an impact, and he's struggled so far in that regard. As Johnson tries to bring it out for the back, and Forrest eventually runs into a tackle. Throw into Celtic. No time to waste. 1-1.
There was a brilliant moment there with Forrest on Forrest. When Forrest beat Forrest, you won't be surprised to hear the Celtic one.
Derry McGuinness, who as Aberdeen manager lost 3 cup finals against Celtic. He will have dreamed of a moment like this. He is, I'm sure, not daring to dream what the next 10 minutes could deliver for him and for Heart of Midlothian Football Club and the whole maroon side of Edinburgh. And frankly, the whole non-Old Firm portion of Scottish football. Made us into the penalty area. Shot on target. Oh, it's nearly deflected in. The goalkeeper was diving it to his left and it was nearly deflected in front of the goalkeeper. It wouldn't have counted anyway. The offside flag is raised.
Yeah, but
heart-stopping moment again.
It's constant now, isn't it? Every time Celtic attack, they're making a chance or a half chance. They're getting into a brilliant position. They are playing at a completely different level now. They're taking massive risks, but they have to take massive risks.
Celtic playing 3 at the back. Then they've got Engels and McGregor in the midfield, and everyone else is up as a forward.
Yes,
as they must be.
It's a strange formation. I've got. It's almost a 3-3-4. Celtic are playing just now, but a lot of the time it's not. It's a 3-1, and everybody else just flies forward.
The media coverage in the build-up to this game has been frankly hysterical. This is no ordinary game. This is no ordinary story. Hearts are on the cusp of history, of brilliance, but they don't have it yet. Something so close and yet still so far away if you're a fan of Hearts right now. Free kick to the visitors and they'll take their time over this. Celtic can't get the ball back in play quickly enough, but Hearts have time to kill.
Well, they're trying to kill it and they're trying to pass it, but they just cannot get control of the ball anywhere in the field. Hearts just now, because they're being harried by Celtic. The desperation has to be from the Celtic side. It doesn't need to be from the Hearts side. But anytime they get possession here, they slow it down as much as they possibly can, and you can't win them.
Celtic 1, Hearts 1 is the 4 decades of Old Firm dominance coming to an end. Iheanacho, flick on towards Maida. Ball is hoisted forward by Devlin, who's run his socks off in the midfield, but Iheanacho gets it back, plays a good pass to the left-hand side. Chance to scorch forward down that left wing. Celtic have got loads of bodies for it. It's not a good pass though, way over the top of Iheanacho, and the ball goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag.
That makes a huge difference. Had it gone out millimetres the other side of that flag there, goal kick, slow it down. However, it's a throw-in right down in the corner, and Celtic will press everyone in there, get the ball back.
1986, Hearts suffered last day heartbreak. There was a famous Dundee substitute called Albert Kidd who scored a goal that denied Hearts the title. They had been within minutes of securing it. That sort of lore has lurked in the background of Heart of Midlothian Football Club for decades. Can they free themselves of those demons here? They are so close. They've waited 66 years, Pat Nevin. They've now got 6 minutes of normal time to play.
Yes, I think normal time is going to be extended quite considerably.
It'll feel as long as back to 1986, I'll tell you that.
I promise you. Bad news, Hearts fans. I suspect 8, 9, something like that minutes. Because there's been a lot of injuries. Yeah, there's been a lot of injuries.
Claudio Braga in pursuit of a chance here. Goalkeeper's on his builder. Braga's not done it beyond him and just back in behind again to clear away for Scales. Wow. Braga had the goalkeeper in no man's land for a moment, but he couldn't get on the ball to shoot himself. This is Shankland for Hearts. A goal for Hearts would surely win the league now. And he's won a corner. Shankland wins the corner, and again Hearts will slow it all down again as the clock ticks into the 86th minute of the game.
And we know that it's a danger. That's what Celtic have to do. They have to be risk takers just now. Braga, their does goalkeeper, who's come out, and this time he got it wrong, but just tackled in time. And then Shankland had half a chance after that as well.
Celtic won, Hearts won. A draw does Hearts. Celtic must win. Corner, left-hand side as the visitors come forward. It's an in-swinger. It's punched out by the goalkeeper, only to the edge of the box. An attempted shot back in by Kingsley, but he stabbed at it really. He didn't hit it cleanly, and it's wide of the target. It's a goal kick, and Celtic already have the ball back in play.
That was more of a chance than you think there. You're 12, 13 yards out. Okay, it might be on your bad foot, but you get it on target. Couldn't get it on target. Celtic on break again.
The rest of their lives, these Hearts players will look back at this moment, this time. They would give anything to be back here again if this doesn't go right. They've got to make this count. Give it everything. Bust every long. And Celtic will be filled with just as much desire themselves. This is Sirachi. Midway inside his own half, takes on Shankland and nearly for a moment stumbled. I thought he was going to lose the ball there as the last defender. Instead, he's continued the run into the opposition half. Negrin here will roll it back to Liam Scales again. 5 live for the BBC. This is serious now. This is the business end. It is almost over. Sirachi cuts infield again. He started this move on the edge of his own penalty area. Plays it into the box. Osmond, pull you back and it's in! It's in from Maynard! But it's not going to count! The flag is raised on the far side. The goal is disallowed. The moment that could have won the league for Celtic. The flag goes up, and because this is modern football, no one believes it until the VAR approves.
And we're going to have a look at it as soon as we can. I didn't see anything wrong with that at all. I thought it was a very, very good move. Has Maeda moved early?
Can't be Maeda. The only person that could be offside is Osmond. Because Maeda's behind the guy who passed it. It must be Osmond offside if anyone. The assistant on the far side of the pitch is David Rowe, and he held up his flag immediately.
Well, I have to say,
we've still not seen a proper angle of this.
Naked eye to me looks possibly level, if not onside. But it was only naked eye. We're just about to see it now. We're just about. He's onside. He is onside. Surely.
So, Maeda may be offside, but he doesn't touch it to the next one.
Yeah.
As the pass is played, Osmond's onside. There is every chance that the VAR may turn this around. Oh, can you believe the drama here? This goal may well stand. Celtic fans are looking around. They are waiting. Will there be puffs of white smoke for them? Will there be good news? Has Maeda just won the league? Scotland is at a standstill. Nobody knows. But here's the outcome. It's a goal! Celtic have just won the league in the most dramatic of circumstances, and you can hear hearts shatter. Of course it was going to be a VAR review that would win the league. Maeda's goal. Celtic celebrate. Could they possibly have time to pull this out of the bag? Celtic 2, Hearts 1. You couldn't make it up.
No, you couldn't. And it was always going to be the last seconds. I wasn't telling you anything that everyone didn't feel here. It was going to go to the death, and it has done so. And it's no surprise that Maeda gets a goal here. Celtic will try and make a change here to get a little bit more defensive stability, because for these last few minutes, Hearts are going to throw everything at this. And I can tell you now, from the way this season has gone, something will happen in this period. Something will happen, because that's just what happens in the Scottish SPFL this season.
It is pandemonium. There are flares on the pitch. There are spectators who've jumped over the advertising hoardings. There is security staff building a perimeter around the pitch as if the game was over. Celtic are making a change. Dane Murray comes on, the big defender. It's time to bolt the gate if you're Martin O'Neill. Hearts, who were hanging on, who thought 1-1 may be enough. It was going to be 7 minutes. It's now going to be 8 minutes to be added on. It's not over yet, Pat Nevin, but it feels like it's over. The way Celtic are celebrating Denson Maida's goal, not given by the referee, awarded by the video assistant referee. And as things stand, Celtic are about to win the league.
Yeah, to be honest, it's absolutely extraordinary, but not surprising. Maeda scoring a goal, all the changes made by Martin O'Neill, it's widened the game out though. However, 8 minutes, a long time to go.
We could barely see the pitch. The spectators are standing in the seats in front of us. I've no idea who went off for Dane Murray to come on.
This is Negron.
Absolute pandemonium. Benjamin Negron made way for Dane Murray. Attacking player off, defending player on. Hearts have got to throw the kitchen sink. No team has come this close. The 40-year dominance of the Old Firm. Hearts thought they were going to break that glass ceiling. But Celtic showing why they've won it so many times over the years. Spittle takes the throw in for Hearts towards the edge of the 6-yard box. They're appealing. Everyone's appealing for everything. It's going to be a corner.
Keeper's coming up. I mean, it's a long time. He's asked Derek McKenna if he could.
No, and then McKenna says no.
He said yes, and then he changed his mind. 8 minutes is, 7 minutes now. Now this time that was so slow for Hearts is lightning quick.
Here comes the corner. Stephen Kingsley delivers it in towards the back post area. It comes off a Hearts head, but it goes wide. And a guttural roar from Celtic fans. Every little moment like this is another fingertip placed on the league trophy. Celtic 2, Hearts 1 on a day that Celtic had to win. They are in front with about 6 minutes of stoppages remaining.
The 86th minute, Hearts were champions of Scotland, and the pain that they've had to go through all the way through this season of not knowing, hoping, and has it been snatched in these last few seconds? They might well get one more chance because they've got a lot of good, strong players out there, and they've got nothing to lose. They have to throw everything at it.
Strong play in the midfield there by Chesnikov, but Celtic lump it forward in the direction of Iheanacho. Devlin stretches for the ball. Maida comes in strong. Might have been showing studs there. Referee says play on. Hearts lump it over the top. Braga goes sprinting after it, but it runs through to the keeper. Sidisalo, like a fireman catching a baby thrown from a window, carefully gathers it and falls to his knees. And Celtic are almost there. Almost 3 minutes played of the 8 to be added on. Celtic 2, Hearts 1 on the most dramatic last day. Is Maida's goal going to win the league? McGregor goes down. No free kicks as the referee. Hearts have possession, but they need to get it down the other end. Kingsley lumps it forward. Stuart Finlay has gone up to play as an attacker, the central defender. Great work by Maida again. Oh, look at him go! Sprinting out with the ball. Then he runs into Devlin. Did he take it too far? Srirachi comes thundering across, and it's all bubbling over as Shanklin and Srirachi go chest to chest, locking antlers down there. Srirachi gets a yellow card. Shanklin gets a yellow card. Everyone's on their feet. The smell of smoke and sulphur in the air. The fire and spittle of the last day of the season at Celtic Park, when Celtic have given it everything and they believe they've come up with the goods. Hearts are chasing the miracle though. It may not be over yet. Ball cleared away by Srirachi. Anywhere will do as they pump it to the halfway line.
It's mayhem here. We knew it would be like this at the end. Hearts got a great half chance there. Long throw in by Shanklin. Can they get another real chance though?
This crazy season, which has produced so many late goals. Remember that Celtic goal in midweek? That was the 99th minute. It's never over till it's over. And Hearts have got to believe that there's a chance they get a free kick in the centre circle. It's going to be taken by the goalkeeper, and everyone else makes their way forward.
Yes, Hearts have to go for it. They've left Devlin back there. He'd be 1-1 against Iheanacho if Celtic break. There's only one winner there. Hearts cannot afford to lose this. Ball into the box.
Celtic defenders holding the line along the edge of the penalty area. 2-1 to Celtic. One hand on the title. Free kick is played in. Come down on the edge towards Spittle, but he couldn't get the shot away. This is Devlin. All his outfield teammates ahead of him. Chesnikov stumbles, regains his composure. Still outside the box. Maida lunges in. Big important interception. He was fouled as well, Maida, and he squares up to Shanklin again, and Shanklin lashes out his right arm at him. He's already on a yellow card, Shanklin. I don't think he connected. He lashed out the arm, but I don't think he struck Maida. No, and the referee is not reaching for his pocket.
I don't think that was worthy of a yellow, but the tackle was close to being worthy of a yellow from Shanklin. Again, walking the tightrope. You can understand the frustration. It must be heartbreaking for Hearts just now. Well, I think that phrase will be used once or twice if Hearts don't get something in these last 3 or 4 minutes.
The Celtic flags are flying. The Celtic songs are being sung. Title number 56 is so close they can almost touch it. 5.5 minutes of injury time have been played. Maida puts the ball out of play. There's a Hearts player down injured. Free kick to Hearts anyway. Maida wasn't putting it out of play. He was trying to kick it away. Free kick.
And there's so many walking wounded out there, but you cannot get down. And it's Chesnikov. He's struggling a little bit now with a back injury. It doesn't matter. You've got to get in there. You've got to put your body in there. If the ball falls to you and you're wearing maroon, you've got to get it on target.
Green and white scarves being twirled in the air. The Hearts free kick is played towards the edge of the area. Leaping like he was on a trampoline, Liam Scales rises to head the ball away. It's kept alive on the far side by Alan Forrest. Then he loses possession. Anywhere will do again for Celtic as it's pumped long down the other end of the field to the Hearts keeper, Shvolov, and he returns it with interest. And up jumps Scales again to win a header, but it comes down to Chesnikov this time. Hearts have got it down on the deck. Cameron Devlin, midway into the Celtic half, plays it forward, blocked by McGregor. Devlin thought he handled it. Referee says no. Maida's clearance straight back to Devlin again. Still midway inside Hearts. McGregor comes across and cleans out Devlin. That's going to be a yellow card for Callum McGregor. It's a free kick to Hearts. The goalkeeper again asks for permission, and we've reached that stage where you take the handbrake off, and Shvolov is going to make his way forward. The Hearts goalkeeper. A goal for Hearts wins them the league. If Celtic don't concede, Celtic win the league, and we've got 50 seconds of stoppages remaining. Here comes the free kick. Spittle plays it in low, too low. McGregor heads it out. A follow-up shot from Devlin. There's no one in goal. What a moment for Callum Osmond to run it in from inside his own half. Grown men cry. Celtic win the league for sure. Callum Osmond on his first appearance since November runs it in as hundreds invade the pitch, and Hearts' brave battle is finally crushed. Celtic 3, Hearts 1. And ugly scenes, ugly moment.
But some Celtic fans are attacking Lawrence Shanklin. 2 or 3 have punched him. That's a dreadful thing that happened just now. But these are absolutely and utterly unacceptable scenes. What a brilliant, fabulous, great moment for Celtic Football Club. And this is awful. Absolutely dreadful. How many people are on the pitch? Hearts players are getting taken off the pitch just now by their manager, and rightly so. Some of the players have been attacked here.
No, these
and there's another one attacking Shanklin just now.
Terrible scenes. Celtic fans celebrating, but too many of them have turned it into violence against Hearts players on the pitch. The full-time whistle is blown. Celtic are the champions, but 1 or 2 are letting the club down here with reactions to Hearts players on the pitch. Martin O'Neill has done it again, and in the most dramatic circumstance. Hearts, who gave it everything, sending the goalkeeper up for a late corner free kick to try and win the game. But with no one in goal, Osmond scores a goal that will go down in Celtic history, and amidst the pitch invasion and amidst the security and the police on the pitch and the crowds trying to escape down the tunnel and the players seeking refuge and some players now being contained and the pandemonium that we knew at one stage or another was somehow going to seep its way into this. The game finishes with 4 goals, and it finishes with Celtic winning the title for the 56th time to move ahead of Rangers, and I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. I mean, we do want the end of the season to be such a high point, such a buzz. Celtic played brilliantly today, worked it, kept on going, did what Celtic always do. The vast majority of fans were absolutely fantastic all the way through the game. And yes, there was excitement. And probably, I'd say, for the 3rd time this season, Celtic fans have come on the pitch. But there was hundreds of them this time. Even that you can get, the tension. The attacking Hearts players when they're on there, it's just not on. It's totally and utterly sickeningly unacceptable. And don't make excuses for it. Well done, Celtic. Great. Delighted for you winning the league. That's a horrible scene at the end.
Things are calming down now, relatively speaking, but this is going to keep bubbling, you would imagine, for some time. The day that Celtic found a way, they found a way, despite a far from perfect campaign. The dark days under Brendan Rodgers early on, when Martin O'Neill came in and steadied the ship, the disastrous tenure of Wilfred Nancy, more goals conceded than any title winner in the last quarter of a century, as many defeats as any champion in a 38-game season, and yet, Steve Crossman, none of that matters, because Celtic win the title and the history books record that they move ahead of Rangers. It is a 56th notch on Celtic's belt of brilliance.
And the sound of